Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Collective Consciousness Show. I've got my friends Asher and Quintin with me. They were actually our most viewed episode on the podcast. So essentially, they're my best guests. They're also my best friends.
Oh, so, stop it, Colin. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me right now.
So how are you guys doing?
It feels good to be back. It
feels like you finally brought some star talent on.
Well, no disrespect to my other guests, but you guys are the best guests I've ever had.
You heard it?
He
said it. He said it, Dom. Not me.
Show. Over 300 views. My most viewed podcast by far. Anyways, so what's up, guys?
Nothing much, man. We on the Collective Consciousness podcast. I heard I was going to be bombarded with questions.
I was promised billions and trillions of questions on the phone earlier.
Yeah, and, I didn't really have any huge questions that weren't like, I don't know. It seems like all the big stuff going on today is political, and I hate that.
Trump's in jail.
And it's like I was.
What do you think about Trump going to jail?
Well, I was gonna say let's bring up the thing that nobody cares about. Trump's going to jail.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
WRL.
I mean, I don't really care. Like
what?
He pled not guilty. He's gonna find a way out. He's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Every politician.
What is he even accused of? What's the issue here?
Apparently it's some financial thing.
I think it's like the 30 counts. I think
it was like
30.
It was like
charges or something crazy.
Yeah, of something. I don't know. So he was like indicted or something. Then he pled not guilty. He's gonna find a way out. They always do.
Of course,
everybody knows Hillary Clinton was doing shit. She got out. You know, everybody knows that every politician, all of them, they're doing stuff.
OJ beat the case.
OJ
did beat the case.
Donald Trump's got more money than OJ.
I don't know here's the thing. OJ was guilty, but not of murder. He planned the murder. He had someone else do it. That's what I think.
Whoa.
Okay.
Really? What? Can you explain? Do you have any evidence
I think that all right, the glove didn't fit. There was no evidence for OJ doing it, except that was his ex-wife who was with another guy, and he was angry. So I don't think he wanted to murder anyone. He was like, I don't want that on my hands. So he hired someone else to do it, and then...
Did he still have OJ money at the time of the killing?
Because of it.
Okay, so he was still rich during...
And then he was stealing his own sports memorabilia and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
classic. So he ended up in jail anyway.
Is that what took him on the high-speed chase?
No.
Or was that the murder?
Well, actually, it wasn't a high-speed chase. It was only like 40 miles an hour or something. It was like...
Really?
Yeah, it was like on the freeway. It was like...
I've been deceived by the media.
Yeah, no, it was not high speed.
Drumming this up like
the Bronco. I know the Bronco. Everyone knows the Bronco.
But it's crazy because there are pictures of the car that he was supposedly in, like during the chase from news coverage, and he's not in the car. People were saying it was all a ruse and he was not in the car, and they were like tricking the police. I don't know.
Is it a ghost theory?
The ghost of...
But he was alive. How would he...
OJ hired a ghost to
But
kill
if no one's in the car, how is the car moving?
Well, no. There was someone in the car. Because OJ was supposed to be in the back seat of the car.
Oh.
OJ was...
Yeah.
Cuba, I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it seems like everybody dies that go to Cuba.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you believe him, Quintin?
Yeah.
I believe you.
Because there are pictures from the news coverage of him not, he was supposed to be in the back seat, and he's not in the back seat, you know? And, you know how they have cameras on the highway and shit?
Yeah. How do you feel about the vaccine, Colin?
Whoa, that was random. How do I feel about it? Like the COVID vaccine?
What do you think,
I'm
safe?
No, I don't think it's very, I don't think it's a very safe thing. I mean,
really?
What do you think are the repercussions? What do you think the side effects are going to be?
Well, we already see side effects long term, like stuff like myocarditis, which is a heart condition in people. It's like kill people. Everybody I know that has gotten the vaccine, except one person, and I'm not going to name names here, has had a side effect, has felt like seriously sick or something, and then it worked its way out of his system. But my best friend knew somebody that was perfectly healthy, middle-aged man, got the vaccine and died. But right after. Didn't get
pre-existing conditions.
No pre-existing conditions.
Didn't have a brain aneurysm.
Nothing.
That can happen to anyone.
Nothing at all. He was 45 years old, got the vaccine, a week later, dead.
What was the cause of death? Do they not know?
They say.
They never say it's the vaccine because
what do they say?
The people that say the cause of death are the
unknown.
ones that are pushing the vaccine. So it's like, the doctors want you to get the vaccine.
Well, what do you know? What the cause of death was?
I don't know officially what the cause of death was.
All right.
That's a big goal.
Well, you're looking at 2 lab rats right here. Did you know that?
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but here's the thing: I don't look down on anyone that got it because that's like, okay, that's your decision, Like I don't really care that much about, like, I care, but I also don't care because, like, it's not me. So like, no disrespect, but like, yeah, that's just how it is. But
Any side effects, Quinn?
Not yet. I mean, give it another 15 years, we'll come back on.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
I'll have a couple extra looms.
It's crazy because every other medication in human history has been tested for like 15 years, and this came up in what, 9 months, and suddenly they're like, it's safe and effective. It's
I don't
really?
think it came up in 9 months. I think the technology behind it had been existing for a while.
So the vaccine COVID started in March of 2020. The vaccine came out in 2021. That's a year or less.
I thought COVID started in 2019.
No, well, you can still
like
work
December
on
2019. It made its way to the U.S. in 2020, like March 2020.
Yeah.
I imagine they had predisposed technology before COVID was even a thing that helped them, get to a 9-month.
But there are like so many variants of COVID from before. Like coronavirus is like an existing thing that had actually, like, it was a thing in bats that they were actually like studying and stuff, right? Yeah. So like there are like multiple like variants of the coronavirus that like were being studied, but this specific one was not, like, we didn't know of it. It wasn't like a known thing. So how would we be able to create a safe medication for it in any way, whether it's a vaccine, whether it's a pill, whatever it is, right? How will we be able to do that in, say, 2 years? I don't know. It just doesn't sound, for something that's new to us.
I ain't a doctor. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, it's like a common sense. I'm not a doctor either. I'm not a scientist either. So I can sit here and I can just
a
use
conspiracy theorist.
I can use common sense. Yes, I mean, call me a conspiracy theorist, but a lot of the stuff that, like, conspiracy theorists that are not like crazy far, like, either direction, a lot of the is like true. A lot of it has come out to be true. Like, oh, the government was lying about the JFK assassination. What happened this year? They released so many documents about, yeah, we lied about it. The CIA was actually involved in killing him. And for years, people were like, yeah, this isn't right. Someone was doing something.
Did they release stuff officially saying that
they did, yeah.
had a hand in it?
Yeah. They released
That's one that I can
year.
get behind. I can get behind the JFK one a little bit.
That makes sense.
I wrote a paper.
You wrote a
English
paper on the
class.
JFK assassination?
Yes, but I didn't give it enough time. It wasn't formulated enough.
Yeah.
Not my proudest work.
No, it makes sense. Wow. That's, yeah. No, but like, when the government releases something saying, we know there's extraterrestrial life forms, and for years and years and years, people have been like, yeah, we're not the only life in this universe, and they're labeled as conspiracy theorists. It's like, really? It's like, how long until stuff comes out about 9/11? How long until stuff comes out about when you have Buzz Aldrin telling a 9-year-old girl we didn't go to the moon?
Okay.
When you have these guys that went to the moon saying we did not go to the moon, what do they have to lose?
Really? Wait. So you don't think we went to the moon?
I think there's definitely a possibility. I think we have been to the moon since then, but I don't think we went to the moon right then, because they said we lost the technology. How do you lose the technology to go to the moon? It's something you should probably keep.
I don't know.
Keep it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I would think that if it was that important, like, they faked it because they were in a race with, I believe it was either Russia or China, to go to the moon.
The Soviet Union.
The Soviets, right? And so the U.S. was like, you know what we'll do? We'll just fake it so that it's like, all right, we won the race, because we didn't want to, like, the Cold War and everything, we didn't want to get into it in a nuclear war with Russia, with the Soviets, and get everyone. It's like, so we were like, yeah, we went to the moon,
I think a lot of these conspiracy theories, unfortunately, are a result of mass mass boredom, and if anyone wants these conspiracy theories to be true, it's me. I think it would make life so much more interesting. I just don't think everything's that complicated. I don't think everyone's trying to lie over every single little I don't know.
I don't think everyone is, but I think a lot of like all the stuff on the internet, like that comes from like boredom, people being bored. But also a lot of it comes from like everyone knows that like politicians lie. Everyone knows that the government lies. Like it comes out, it seems like every week there's something that was like, yeah, well, we weren't actually quite right about that. We were like, and they like dance around the fact that they said something was wrong. I think that a lot of it comes from people being like, oh, we don't trust the government, so here's all the things that could be happening because we don't trust them, because we know what they've lied about in the past.
But I think you just name dropped three separate huge historical events in the last 100 years and claim them as fake. That being like the vaccine, the moon landing, and 9/11, all three of which, like, I don't know. If that sounds like a mass conspiracy, that sounds like everyone's lying about everything. I can't think of bigger events than those three right now.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Of course, the biggest events are going to have the most, like ideas around them about what could go wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody's sitting over here about the small thing about, oh, this guy, someone robbed a bank, and everybody's like, that was a conspiracy. Someone robbed the M&T down the street. No one's going to be like, yeah, the government was in on that one. All these small crimes. Well, when big stuff happens, like, there's going to be more people, like, having different ideas about it,
So now you're sort of taking more of a middle stance on it.
I've always been in the middle.
No, that's not true. You just came out of here and was telling me about the moon landings fake. The 9/11 stuff, a little bit fishy. Fishy.
I can argue both sides of why stuff happened, why stuff didn't happen, why it's this, why it's that.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't know. I just love. I watch so many podcasts. I listen to so many different things on so many different sides that, like, because I want to be educated, because I want to be knowledgeable, because if I'm going to talk about it on here or I'm going to have conversations with people, I don't want to just say shit that's wrong and look like a dumbass, And, like, some of it's also cool to me. Like, oh, like, this isn't what it's actually made out to be. Like, that's a little interesting. I just don't like accepting that everything that we're told by people is, like, 100% true and we can trust everyone all the time. Because that's not true either,
You think big corp's got ulterior motives? Big pharma's got ulterior motives with our health, Colin?
Yes. They have to, because it's a business at the end of the day.
Do you think they have more advanced medicines than they're releasing to the public?
I think that's, yes, definitely. Because...
How's Magic Johnson still alive?
The NBA?
He's had AIDS for like fucking 30 years now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's the best point guard ever, so, he's got
You can't kill the best point guard ever. Well, debatably the best point guard ever. Top 5.
I mean, who's better than Magic?
Steph Curry.
Steph's not bad. Not yet. If he wins one more chip, I'll maybe, but I don't know.
That's fair, yeah. Top 5 was a little harsh.
I could argue that he would not have won in 2017 if KD didn't come there, because after being down 3-1 and still not beating the Cavs, I don't know if they could do it again with the Cavs reloading that team. But anyways, we don't have to get into all that.
Yeah. Well, no. Have you been watching a lot of basketball this year?
Oh yeah, big Sixers fan.
Really?
It's the Sixers year this year. If any year is going to be it.
Yeah.
James Harden leading the league in assists.
That's
Tyrese
true.
Maxey looks great. Embiid's probably going to win the MVP. Embiid is averaging the most for a center since Shaq. The most points for a center since Shaq. So it's been like 30 years, right?
Where are they in the standings? Like,
they're third in the East.
Okay. All right. Who's number 1? Celtics?
Bucks, and then
right.
Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Sixers are probably going to...
will make the playoffs, knocked out second round.
You heard it.
Well, they don't have Ben
Prediction.
Simmons this year, so they don't... It's a different team.
Any team that doesn't have Ben Simmons
Different
is doing
team.
better than the team that has Ben
Yes,
Simmons.
yes, definitely. Carter's going to agree with that one. He's going to listen to this. But he's a Celtics fan, so anything Sixers he hates.
Yeah, he looks like a Celtics fan.
He does look like a Celtics fan. He actually went to a game in Boston this year against the Bulls, and he said that was a lot of fun.
It sounds pretty fun, I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, any live game's going to be fun no matter the team.
Unless you go to the Wizards.
That's not true. That's still. I mean, if you get to like a,
it's fun to
Kings
watch
game,
guys shoot 30% from the field.
Yeah, it's.
No,
Porzingis is all right.
he's not bad.
Porzingis is hot and cold. Porzingis, he'll drop 40 one night. He'll drop 5 the next night.
Yeah, well, that's also
It's
because
about,
he's got
It's about the experience. It's about being there in the moment.
He's got the most average guys around him. You know, like he's like, I don't know. When you're on a team that sucks, like you're gonna suck along with it. You know.
But do they really suck? They have good players.
They're gonna miss the play-in this year. They're not even gonna do anything this year.
Well, I mean, okay, fair enough.
Like who's it? Like all right.
But next season's Kyle Kuzma's season.
No. They need someone other than Beal to be there. Bradley Beal has he been injured most of the year, right?
They shut him down for the season, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, without a star player, Kuzma's not their star player.
And they might not re-sign him or Porzingis. 'Cause I think they're free agents this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That they need a full rebuild. If this isn't rebuilding already,
I can see Kyle
I don't know
Kuzma going back to the Lakers. I can see that happening. I don't know.
I mean,
Lakers looking
LeBron's
good.
washed.
He's averaging 30 points this year, and he's about to turn 40. I wouldn't call him
I just like to hate.
I know you. Yeah.
I like to hate.
You're a big hater.
Of course. I live for it, Colin.
Yeah.
I live for it.
Someone's got to spark the controversy. But it seems like on the conspiracy stuff, you're a little hesitant to spark that controversy.
Oh, that's not true.
In some ways.
That's not
you're
true,
calling me out
Colin.
saying like, oh, I'm being like
Yeah,
contrarian.
you say you can
or
argue
something.
both sides. I can argue both sides too, Colin. I
can.
like to press. I like to push. I like to do everything. But also, I think over taking a more critical thinking standpoint on a lot of these things, like there's just no evidence. There's no evidence, and anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together and that isn't bored in their room all day can see.
Most conspiracy theories are just coincidence.
Yeah, which I know you don't like that at all.
No.
And honestly, I don't like that either because I don't want them to be coincidences.
A lot of
it's weird this happened.
Well, do you think
connected to this?
Do you think that any of the reporting in any of the news outlets is really critical thinking when they're reading off of a teleprompter the whole time? Somebody told them to say this.
Getting that information to tell the reporters.
From who? The network that is.
Yeah, the network's definitely going to they're going to censor what they say.
There are 5 major corporations that all the news comes from. 5 major TV networks that all the news comes from. So you're hearing exactly what they want you to hear. So that's not critical thinking.
We can also do our own independent research. It's 2023, Colin. I can hop on the internet and find anything.
That's my point. I don't remember
the last time I watched the news.
Right, exactly. Because that's not critical thinking. Critical thinking is done outside by independent, individual people like me and you and Asher and other people that look at literally all the facts possible, right? All the way over here, all the way over there, and straight down the middle, and come up with whatever we think is the right thing. That's critical thinking.
I get my news off Instagram mostly. I think is like the
Donna's
only
Live.
place.
And a lot of that is credible, and a lot of it's not. You know,
Probably mostly not. I would assume.
If you want, like, you can either go on your phone, and if you're looking for negativity, that's exactly what you'll find. But if you're looking for positivity, that's exactly what you'll find. You know, so you can find whatever you're looking for whenever you're looking for it. You know, like with the algorithms now, like that's, you know, when you go on TikTok, your For You page is exactly what you're looking for. When you're suggested on YouTube is exactly what you're looking for, you know? Although the YouTube suggested has been pretty dry for me recently. I'm not going to lie. However,
where do you hope to have the podcast in 5 years?
In 5 years?
5 years from today.
I hope to be bigger than... biggest podcast in the world. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I hope to get it to a point where it has a solid following. I don't know, in 5 years... I could have a couple 100,000 subscribers, I think, if I really
like your own office.
Really dedicate. I could have my own office.
Celebrities
but
and shit. Mike
no,
Tyson on your podcast.
Well,
Mike Tyson on your podcast.
Ooh, that'd be a good guess.
That would be a good guess. The only thing is, I'm not in the Illuminati, so we can't do any of this shit.
Also,
you can't have any interesting guests.
You got to start tapping into an untapped market. That's what it is. I.e.,
yes,
drug addicts.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to have any drug addicts on.
Or maybe you could have some people on now who you think might be going down the wrong path. And then 5 years, you got it.
I'm not going to name names. I've had some of those people on. I will let the audience guess on that one. Who's going downhill?
I think I know.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk after the podcast.
We can talk after. We can say this all here. Yeah.
Sparking the controversy.
No. I think it'll be pretty good. I think, and I was telling Quintin this, just clipping stuff from all my old episodes, putting it out there, posting literally everything on TikTok and whatever, and then, putting it out there. That's how you grow, and so I think I can do that, and I think that if I kind of get a good team around me, and I've got a lot of great supportive people around me, but I think that in 5 years I'll have like a team, not like all of a whole company, but like I think I'll have a good few people around me. Like I have Carter help me with producing and editing and all that stuff because he's much better at it than I am. And so you find this a lot with people who are really good at something. Like I'm good at having conversations and being creative and stuff, but I'm not as good at all the technology stuff and all the social media stuff. So people that are really good at something have other people around them that are really good at other things, Yeah. And so that's what I hope. I hope that I have a good team around me, and I hope that like you do what you love and you forget the numbers, and the numbers will come. But if you're posting something thinking I want to get 1 million views on this one and 500,000 likes and this and that and whatever, you're never going to get that because you're not doing it for the right reason. You're not doing it because you enjoy it. You're doing it because you want people to like it. I don't care if people like this. If I wanted people to like it, I wouldn't say conspiracy theories. I would say, yeah, I'm all this. I'm pro-vax. Because like that's what the majority of people are saying. Like I want to be myself. It's not that I want to be different, and it's not that I want to be the same. It's that I would rather be myself, and authenticity sells because so many people are out here are fake.
Amen.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it, Colin.
Yeah. No.
5 years.
I see a billboard in New York.
And in 5 years, you guys will still be hosting at Texas Roadhouse.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, yeah.
So are you guys still working on this movie? What's the deal with this movie?
Yeah, we've still been working on the movie. We got the script done.
It's done?
Yes, the script is done.
I've been ready for it, Colin.
And we've been ordering parts.
Yeah. We got a lot of our sound equipment's in right now.
We gotta get rehearsals.
The only issue is I'm eerie about putting out a date and time before I have everything I need. Because I think we're already
set in stone.
Yeah, it's already a really unprofessional little setup. You know what I mean? Switching dates around is the last thing that we need. So I think just right now we're in a dormant phase of what do we need to do to start and how can we plan out as much as we can going forward. And
work with everyone's schedules.
Yeah, working around people's schedules specifically. The way I see it right now, we have till probably the end of summer, I'd say, to really start getting the filming done. And hopefully sooner than that. I hope sooner than that, but I mean, it'll happen as it happens. Yeah. We flow like water.
That's exactly what you want.
We flow like water, Colin.
Yeah. Like setting dates and times on stuff is so hard because like stuff changes.
Think about date approaching.
Yeah. So it's like, and then you put so much pressure on yourself, and everyone else is putting pressure on themselves, and it doesn't come out good. And especially with some like independent, small, like low budget shit like this, like you want to make sure you're putting as much time as possible without obviously like overdoing it, but like really dedicate yourself to it. And like, because you have more time than on a Hollywood set where you have, some guy, some billionaire telling you, I need this out by this day, or you're all cut, you're all fired,
there's definitely a lot of flexibility there.
Yeah.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm over it at this point. I'm so ready for this movie to be done, and I'm so ready specifically for us to go on to our next one. But definitely, I've put so much of my brain power, it feels like, into this, and for something that it won't have an out, like there will be no return on it.
We won't make money.
No money, nothing. The only thing that's really going to come from this is a good memory for me and Quintin, a decent learning experience. Yeah, and like a good memory for our friends of like our last little high school.
And then you can show your kids like, hey, look what I made when I was 18.
Yeah, but I'm so tired of it occupying space in my brain.
Yeah.
So equally as passionate about the first time that I started it, definitely sick and tired of it by now.
Yeah. So you said on to the next one. So you guys have other ideas for other movies?
Are you kidding me?
Can you
sit here and name ideas?
Can you give me a peek, or do you guys want to like keep that door shut?
A ton of ideas. I mean, that's 90% of what me and Quintin do is shooting ideas back and forth. But but most of it's stupid little things that are like nothing set in stone. Yeah, The Nice Gangster. That's a classic.
A guy who's like a mob boss, but he's just a really nice guy, but he does mob boss things. Like his hands off.
Like no, and everyone thinks he's a bad guy. He's
just a nice guy.
Yeah, but he's a nice guy. He's the nice gangster. But everyone thinks he's a horrible thug.
Like help an old lady across the street.
Yeah, of course. And she'll think he's mugging him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting paradox.
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas. For our next one, it's more what we can work around, because it will have to be low budget. We're thinking
something maybe like 1 or 2 settings.
Yeah, low characters.
Just one house, 3 characters.
2 characters, something like that, and
that will let us make it longer too, because we'll have more budget to work with.
Put out a feature length. That'll be a feature length. Lord willing.
Yeah.
Or if we get to the point and it doesn't feel time to make a feature length, maybe a few more short films to learn some things and be ready, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, any other like non-movie ideas?
All right, we got Nice Gangster.
Because
off the top of my head, I should have come with the list. I'm sure I have a list on my phone of like 1,000 things. A boxing movie. We've talked about a boxing movie a lot. Yeah.
You guys boxing fans?
Oh, not even really.
But we like watching clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stylistically, I really like in Rocky, the way someone punches someone, all the blood and spit.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it looks gorgeous, and I think it's something that, you could take time, get into it, learn about it, and actually make a movie that's good about it. I think that'd be interesting. There's not a lot of MMA movies.
There's not. I've never seen an MMA movie.
Yeah, that's an untapped market. Speaking of untapped markets,
it's like, I don't know. I feel like movies like that. Like I can think of like Rocky. I think of like, I don't know, one that pops into my head literally only because Eminem made a soundtrack for it was Southpaw.
Okay, I've never even heard of this.
Yeah.
Creed.
Creed. Yeah. I don't know.
Raging Bull, Martin Scorsese. That's a classic, black and white, beautiful looking.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really. I don't know.
Rocky's the primary one, and Rocky I think is gorgeous looking.
Yeah, you can't top. Yeah.
Not him as a guy. The movie's gorgeous looking.
Yeah, didn't have to clarify that one. Yeah. No, there's not a lot of MMA movies out there. There's like. People think that like there's not that many ideas out there for like creative endeavors, and that is like like seriously, there's so much like untapped potential like in so many different areas. Like I don't know, it seems like every year there's a new genre of music that comes out. Like drill music just started taking off and stuff like that. Like people would never think,
No, that's true.
So
and one thing I never want to be landlocked to a genre when it comes to any creative endeavor I go into.
I want to explore it all.
Of course, yeah.
It has stuff or
a western. I'd love to make a western.
A western.
A good old western. A comedy. We'll get a little Adam Sandler type comedy, maybe an animated thing. Just exploring around. I think it's one idea can only stay interesting for so long. It's good to expand and explore.
Right. Yeah. That I mean I really think that's the thing. You got to be diverse. If you want to be if you have a creative mind and you want to like be successful, you have to be diverse because you can only stick with one thing for so long, before it gets old. You know, that's why like I have so many different guests on, because if it was the same one every time, like you can only talk about so much. You know,
That's true.
it's like you only have like so much like potential with
Carter so long.
Right. It's like he's my brother. I know him my whole life. Like we pretty much know everything about each other. So it's not very like interesting.
Earlier you said this was the best podcast you ever had. I disagree. I think the one of well, no, I'm just being polite, but the one of the cancer one that was good. But me and Quintin listened to that on the way to the beach. With Carter. What was it? Some special occasion? Was like a however many years or something?
No, but we were coming up with ideas, and it was like, oh, like let's tell your story. You know, like let's go through that. So yeah, I mean that was that, and then I've had other themes with other people, but generally it's just like whatever. You know, like a lot of times it's just like we'll just sit down and like it'll just go.
Yeah.
You know? And time flies by, and like we'll start with one thing and we'll be on another thing.
Of course, yeah.
10 minutes later, and
COVID
it's just
vaccine to movies.
Right, and that's just like the best thing about it. It's just a conversation. You know, it's not because when you put like a cap on it, like we're gonna talk about water bottles today. There's only so much stuff you can say about a water bottle.
Is the worst,
you know, like it's before Dasani is the worst.
Right.
You don't want to hear what I have to say
what do you
about
think
water
about
bottles.
the salt? They got salt in it.
It's not even.
It tastes like a nickel.
It's not even about the salt. It's just about like when you drink something or eat something with plastic, like there's all the microplastics that go into your bloodstream, and it's actually and it's not the only thing that's causing infertility, but it's actually one of the biggest causes of infertility, and that's why like people aren't having kids nowadays, you know, or when they do have kids, their kids are like coming out deformed and shit, like like on a real level, like like that's what's happening. They're coming out with one eye, 4 balls, you know.
That's the microplastic. Is that do you think that's a result of all water bottles, not just Dasani?
Oh
when
yeah.
You drink glass water.
Yeah, I mean, I mean it's glass. Yeah, that and spring water.
It's refillable.
It is refillable, and the fact that I mean all plastic water bottles it's this chemical called BPA, which is bisulfonyl A, which basically just rubs off of the plastic. It's like this lining that's on the plastic, and even if it doesn't have BPA, there's still microplastics, you know. So yeah, that's why I drink out of glass bottles, and the fact that like I don't know, gonna get me with this conspiracy shit again.
Yep, here it goes.
It's literally proven.
I don't know.
You guys know about fluoride, right?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
It makes you dumber, and that's literally scientifically. There's been papers written by scientists, by doctors and stuff saying
puts in our water for our teeth.
Yes. Literally, the EPA. I forget what the EPA stands for. I forget what it stands for, but it's some.
Forget it.
Environmental Protection Agency.
It might be that. It might.
EPA. Yeah.
Let me just.
I should not know that, but I did know that.
Let's see. What is?
Get me on Jeopardy.
It is the Environmental Protection Agency. Literally says that fluoride is considered a neurotoxin, but it's put in our water, and they approve it. Why are they?
It's put in what like
our tap water.
Okay.
Tap water and bottled water too has fluoride.
Really?
Same water when you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah. Well, it's not only that. It's all the like chemicals and other stuff that's runoff that's in the tap water. You know, like that's why you should never drink tap water. It makes people sick. You know, like that's why I use a filter.
I drink out the sink sometimes when I'm feeling extra thirsty.
Yeah.
Extra thirsty. I
used to do that all the time when I was a kid. Like I'm killing myself now. I don't really like wake up and think like, fuck me, I was doing this when I was a kid.
You would have been so smart,
like,
Colin.
But like, really? Like I just think of all the stuff I used to do as a kid that now like I've learned like I probably should not have been doing that. You know, like
be a monk?
No.
Why not?
Really?
I feel like you're.
I'm not a big.
I'd be the guy for a monk.
Not a big posting about your spirit.
I'm a big.
Everything around us and everything we're eating and drinking is making us stupid.
Well,
why not go be a monk?
Well, that's true, but I don't know if monks believe that. But because that's more of a religion thing. But
they
like,
probably have like cows and chickens and shit in like the back of the monastery.
I mean, maybe I don't fucking know. You think Martin Luther was like, I don't know, eating pasture-raised eggs? You think Martin Luther was organic? I don't know. Back then, nothing was.
Quintin thinks you're thinking of Martin Luther King Jr.
No, Martin
for
Luther.
Sure.
I know.
The monk who posted the things on the Catholic Church saying you guys are wrong about all this because they were trying to basically like sell people to like tickets to heaven.
I don't think monks are eating Big Macs either.
I mean, they don't have the McDonald's in the monastery. It's not like
they do live in the mountains.
It's
are
not
they
like,
vegan?
Yeah. Monks?
Yeah.
Am I vegan?
No, are monks vegan?
Are monks vegan? No.
Okay.
I don't know if monks.
Would you ever consider going vegan?
Oh fuck no.
Why not?
Really?
I'm on a carnivore diet right now. I don't even.
That's destructive. I like that.
That's badass.
Yeah.
All right.
Badass.
It sounds a lot worse than it is. Basically, not all I eat. I mostly eat meat and fruit. So all natural shit and carbs, I get that from fruit. I get that from stuff like milk. I get it from stuff like honey, stuff like that. I don't drink milk straight out the cup. I used to. I drink cow's milk, but it's actually low temp pasteurized, and pasteurization is like they heat the milk, and the proteins, when they heat it to a certain level, they break down and they cause gut issues. But when it's not pasteurized,
why you shit so much after you drink dairy?
Yes, most people. But when you drink,
that adds up.
When you drink
2 + 2 always equals 4.
When you drink non-pasteurized milk, the proteins are actually at a digestible level for humans. So milk is actually good for you. Yeah,
good for your bones.
But
where do you buy this non-pasteurized milk?
Oh, I buy it. I buy it at the store. There's just
you shop at Aldi.
I don't know where. I don't shop at Aldi.
Aldi has the freshest meats.
I didn't know that.
Well, you better start shopping. And
do you guys know?
Don't use plastic bags either.
I don't know where you guys live, but do you guys know Sprouts? It's next to a Home Depot. There's a Target.
Ike's mom is the manager
of Sprouts.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I hope he's eating well. I hope he's
you shop at Sprouts?
Yes, all the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but it's not
adds up.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's the thing: I don't eat vegetables though, which always gets people.
So do you not like vegetables, or do you?
No, I like vegetables.
Would you say you're a picky eater?
I'm not a picky eater, but here's the thing about vegetables. I learned this. I want to credit this guy, who actually he went to medical school. He knows all this stuff. His name is Paul Saladino. He's Carnivore MD, a carnivore doctor on Instagram and TikTok and everything.
Speaking of, shout out Johnny Cakes.
Oh yeah,
28.
Who?
My dad.
Your dad?
He told him drop a shout out.
Give us a shout out.
Yeah,
what is Johnny Cakes 28?
Johnny Cakes .28.
Johnny Cakes .28.
Hey, go follow Johnny Cakes .28 on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you, MySpace. Truth Social.
He's around the world,
baby.
On
Truth Social, Trump's social media platform.
Yeah, he probably is.
No, he is.
No, he's based. He
is.
I'm
not on Truth Social. I mean,
why not?
I don't know. I just never.
What if there's hella carnivore diets on there?
I mean, there could be, but there's also probably hella. I don't know,
probably a lot of misinformation as well.
Yeah, probably a lot of misinformation. I mean, it's called. If you have to name something Truth Social, it's probably not
InfoWars.
Well,
that's different. Don't talk about Alex Jones like that.
Yeah, come on, Alex Jones.
Yeah, no, Trump's one thing. If you have a Truth Social account, you're kind of a nerd, a little bit.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
But if you watch InfoWars, you're like kind of cool.
Yeah, you are kind of. Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
Anyway, so the reason I don't eat vegetables is we're not supposed to be eating plants like that, like seeds, roots, stems, leaves. We're not supposed to be eating that stuff because when you eat that stuff, they're plant defense chemicals that aren't in stuff like fruit that doesn't have seeds or has less seeds, and it's not a leaf, a root, or a stem or any of that stuff that is bad for our body and actually blocks all the vitamins and nutrients. So it cancels out and it's causing inflammation in us. So vegetables aren't good for us. Actually,
how did we go so long eating vegetables? Literally since Christopher Columbus stepped his foot onto this.
I don't know.
Land.
And
I don't
thousands
know.
of years before.
And
I don't know.
Then we learned we were growing fucking corn.
I don't know.
And it was just fine then.
But they weren't living past their 35
okay,
was their average age.
Dysentery because they didn't have.
True.
They didn't know how to wipe yet.
Right.
I wish I was smart enough to combat you on this. You make a good point, but that's only because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But
I do my research. I like seriously.
But I'm sure that if it was really bad enough to be eating vegetables, it would be common knowledge by now, right? Yeah, people aren't dropping in the streets from.
Maybe it's
on
food.org.
Definitely not.
We'll
but if you believe that,
Perhaps.
don't.
What?
Make me.
If you believe that there is a concerted effort to keep humans not at their peak level of capability of performance, of physical, mental, spiritual ability, because the powers that be in the world don't want to be overthrown. They want to keep their power and wealth. If you believe that, then they would probably put propaganda out there like smoking cigarettes is good for pregnant women. When they were running those ads, they would probably put that stuff out there all the time. Like, oh, genetically modified foods aren't bad. Did you know that there was literally a study that came out recently? I forget who did it, but it was from some big organization that said that Lucky Charms was more healthy than steak.
I do remember seeing that.
And that's the type of information that they're feeding us, and they're like, yeah, no, we have your best interest in mind.
I wish I was smart enough to debate it. One day I will be. One day I'll come on here and we'll have a mental chess game that'll go on until...
Why do you think that Bill Gates owns the most farmland in the United States? Why do you think? And he's also the biggest supporter and investor of Monsanto, which is the biggest pesticide, herbicide, genetically modified food company in the world. There's obviously an agenda. You know? There has to be.
I think there's enough.
He's a computer guy. And he's giving health advice.
But I don't think that. I think that's too broad. He's a billionaire, and a billionaire, you know, they can stretch out into multiple avenues. I would imagine.
But what's he best at? He's known for being best at computers and tech, and now he's suddenly everybody's trusting him for health advice now. When has he ever done anything about health ever?
People can't change their, you know, what they're.
You're giving Bill Gates way too much
Maybe
credit
there's a lot of
for
money.
not even being the mastermind behind Microsoft. It was another guy, and he took the guy's credibility and then ran with the company.
That sounds like a good businessman to me. Sounds like one that would be buying some farmland.
That sounds like a liar and a snake and a thief.
But aren't they all?
Yeah,
That's the point. That's the point.
I think it's hard to ethically become a billionaire, but I think they get a little bit of a bad rep. The Jeffrey Epsteins of the world have given billionaires a bad rep.
Oh, but it's not even Jeffrey Epstein. It's not even him. It's like they're all doing bad things.
I think it's way too broad. The truth is always in the middle, and I think saying that all of them are up to something.
When they're all doing sneaky shit, like they're all doing stuff that makes you question, like, why are they doing this? Like, they're all doing some weird... It seems like all of them have some weird shit that's going on, the weird background. None of them are, like, semi-normal. Yeah, it's all coincidence, but all of them are, like, these super weird people, and somehow, and we want to talk about Alex Jones, he went into Bohemian Grove, and they're all fucking each other, and they're all...
that's not true.
They're all... Okay, we want to talk about Eyes Wide Shut, which was literally a movie made about all these people having their orgies. And doing all this shit and being weird.
In a Rockefeller mansion.
What?
It was filmed in a Rockefeller mansion.
Yes,
yes.
And John D. Rockefeller. We're getting deep into it right now. Come on.
I'm sure this stuff happens. I'm sure there's a lot of corruption with a lot of elites. The Bohemian Grove stuff, there's not orgies going on there. There's what they sacrifice in effigy.
There was literally this guy, this quote about fucking Bohemian Grove. I'm going to look this up real quick. It was a well-known politician said that it is literally the biggest gay orgy on earth or something.
You've seen the Alex Jones footage. At least I've seen the sacrifice to the owl, whatever his name
owl
is.
God Molech?
Yeah, Molech. Yeah, classic. Yeah, I've seen that. And they just sacrifice an ethic. It's weird stuff for sure, but I think...
Yes, here it is. Richard Nixon called Bohemian Grove...
Richard Nixon hates gay people.
He said, Well, it's gonna make sense. It's gonna make sense.
This better be convincing.
Richard Nixon says it's a gay orgy. Richard Nixon says it's the most.
What is it? What is this? What's the
F word?
Okay, yeah.
The F word thing I've ever seen. Yeah, they're like, yeah. So
that doesn't sound convincing enough. Just said Richard Nixon said it was gay. Then Richard Nixon also said it was gay.
He said it's a gay orgy, and he said it's the most goddamn F word, like with a Y at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, not fuck.
No,
the other one
yes,
against gay people.
We're with you, Colin.
Right,
we're with you. We're with you.
With a Y at the end. So like, you know when you're like you call someone like. I can't.
Why are you? We understand, Colin. Yes, we understand fully what you're talking. You don't have to show me. We understand.
Okay. Anyways, so when Richard Nixon is saying that, he's literally there. I don't know. It appears to me that maybe there's some truth behind it. I don't know.
But what's the issue? I don't necessarily see the bigger issue here. So a couple of weird old billionaires want a lemon party. You know what I mean?
Literally. All the billionaires, they have weird background, weird shit with them. There's all these ideas about them that they're doing this stuff. They are. They were all talking to Epstein. You want to talk about Epstein like being like the leader of like the weird billionaires? Well, you know, they were all kind of like hanging out with him on his island, flying on his plane.
Chris Rock,
you know, like
Will Ferrell,
right? And they're not even billionaires. You know, it's not like you know. They're all doing weird stuff. You
know about Isaac Cappy?
I do know about Isaac Cappy.
I think Isaac Cappy is the biggest sham of all time, and I think people like you that fall for this.
Fan. You're a big Tom
I'm
Hanks
not.
Fan, aren't
No,
you?
I'm not. I think the people that advocate for that being even having an inch of realism to it, either they haven't looked into it at all, or they're bored. One of the two.
Every celebrity that says I'm not suicidal says something controversial and gets killed a week later, and the cause of death is suicide. You can't tell me that's a coincidence.
Saying I'm not suicidal as a schizophrenic in the middle of a mentally an episode. He's in an episode clearly. First of all,
what about you guys know Avicii, the music producer and everything?
I'm an Isaac Cappy guy. I'm not a big Avicii guy.
Okay. Avicii. You know the song like...
No, yes, I do. Yeah, I know he is. And he overdosed and killed himself.
Supposedly. But he had a music video that came out. And if you watch the music video, it's literally exposing how these human trafficking and how they're doing all this stuff. And then he says, I'm not suicidal. And he dies of suicide somehow. When he makes a video that's clearly about human trafficking, you can see the kids are naked, they're throwing them in cars. Yes. Wow. He makes a music video about that, right? He says I'm not suicidal, and he's dead. He's found dead, and they say it's suicide. I'm not convinced that someone that has a big following exposes something or tries to. Says I'm not suicidal, you know, like...
Did he expose something, or did he just make
a music video?
But he made a music video about trafficking, which already...
Wait, was it about trafficking, or did he accidentally captured something that he wasn't supposed to?
It was about. It wasn't like...
Why didn't he just come out on Twitter and talk about this then? Why did he have to be so subliminal about his message?
I mean, there was... If you watch the music video, there was nothing subliminal about it. The music video was literally this stuff.
I feel it would be more convincing if he went on like a news network and talked about it rather than
hidden messages.
Yeah,
they're not going to allow him to go on a news network. Like all these celebrities, like they have PR teams. They have they have to do this stuff in different ways.
He has a huge following. You're already talking about his social media. All he would have to do is post a video.
Okay, so it does. So why does it matter where he does it? YouTube in a music video or Twitter on a post? It's
so
either way.
It's convincing if he's just blatantly saying it than him.
I don't see how a music video like that he can't get across. You know what I mean? Enough for at least get across his message enough for someone to want to kill him over it.
I don't know. Read the comments. They're all saying, "Oh, he's right. Look at this. Look at what they're doing. They killed him."
The smartest group of people.
Oh,
I leave YouTube comments.
Sorry.
The demographic.
There might be a few dumb people on there, but when hundreds of thousands, you think when hundreds of thousands of people are saying the same thing, they're all dumb?
About what's just the
About
Avicii?
human trafficking.
Oh, okay.
Like not everybody's on
trafficking.
YouTube. Like there are more normal people on YouTube than not normal people. Like the majority of the world is like normal people. You know, like I don't think that most people in the world are like out to get someone or like they're weird people or they're drug addicts or like they're schizophrenics. Most people are normal people for the most part, you know? And most everyone's on YouTube. And Avicii's a popular artist that reaches that he's not Tom McDonald. He's not making music about stuff like that. He makes one song that has nothing to do with it, but he makes the music video about it, you know?
And I know he died in South America, right? So I don't exactly remember where.
Some island or something.
Now that I can see more than the Isaac Happy thing. Okay, yeah, I can understand maybe. I can't see it being directly linked to the human trafficking thing, but maybe there's something more there. Human trafficking is a big problem, especially in South America.
How about Nipsey Hussle? He was in the middle of making a documentary about human trafficking and stuff, and then suddenly he dies.
Suddenly? Or was he a gang member his entire life?
That's the cover story. There has to be a cover story.
What? The cover story? That's how he portrayed himself. He's like one of the biggest crooks in the world.
A conspiracy to kill somebody, there has to be a story. They can't just say, random gang shit.
But they did.
Yeah, but they did because many people believe it. So many people pass over it.
No, that one I don't see at all. I don't think he was involved with gang activities
and he
his entire life.
And he was also involved in making a documentary about human trafficking.
Where is this documentary?
They never released it, obviously.
They won't even
died.
They won't even release part of it? They won't finish it?
Yeah, why can't they just release what's recorded?
Yeah, they should. Someone should finish it.
Who would release it? He was the one working on it.
There's got to be other people associated.
I've never even heard of this documentary. I'm gonna be honest, but it sounds like there would be
a. They don't want people to know about it. Obviously, like who wants people to know about like the people who are doing the human trafficking and shit are the ones that would control whether or not it was getting released. He's working on it personally. He's not like sharing it with his whole team, you know, because his whole team is in on this shit. His whole team's doing this shit, you know.
You think his whole team?
When he's on a song with like all these other people that are doing this stuff, you know. When he's on a song with Lil Uzi Vert and Lil Uzi Vert's posting on a story, "I'm the devil." Like I don't know.
No,
you don't want people like.
No, I don't think everything's that serious. I think simply it comes down to everything's not that serious.
Straight up.
I don't think there's mass.
You think they're all playing a character?
Well, no, but like Lil Uzi Vert.
You think okay? He's playing a character. Playboi Carti's playing a character. 21 Savage is playing a character. Drake is playing a character. Everybody that makes music is playing a character. They're all saying, "I'm a Satanist. I hate God."
No,
they're all
did not.
They're all wearing
say
upside
that.
down. They're all wearing upside down crosses. They're all wearing devil costumes. Sam Smith is at the Grammys wearing a devil costume, but there's nothing wrong there.
The devil thing is like a trend now. It's trendy to like be involved with devil and demon activity.
It's been a thing since like the 50s. It's not new.
No, it's not new, but now it's sort of a more out there. Like there were mainstream
because of social media. That's the only reason.
It's become cool because it's become cool to have this rock star like demon persona, which is really cringe, by the way. It is super cringe.
It's not only cringe, but it's like you're fucking, I don't know. I'm a big believer of what you do constantly is what you attract into your life. You know, like if you're constantly focusing on something, if you treat people with respect and kindness all the time, that's going to come back to you. If you're constantly talking about like devil worship and shit and like that's your personality, that's the type of stuff that's going to come to you, you know, because that's the type of stuff you're looking for. So it's also like a bad negative vibe thing, you know.
But they're artists. It's artistry. It is a character. It's not real.
If they're all playing the same character, wouldn't you think that character would get old? Because there are plenty of people.
It is going to get old, and it is already old.
Really? Really? Because people have been doing this shit for like since the 50s.
Yes,
for
obviously
how long?
it's
and
existed,
it hasn't
but
gotten
it hasn't
old.
been
It's
a trend.
gotten bigger.
Yeah, it's become a trend, I would say. It's sort of been underground. I understand, like,
It's been a trend, like, for how much time now? 70 years? 60 years?
I don't think it hasn't been, there weren't people like Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi Vert who are like some of the biggest superstars.
Out the Oscars for being a Satan worshipping session.
Yeah, but there's also, like, social media amplifies all of it. You weren't seeing this stuff in the 60s because you didn't have Instagram. You didn't have Twitter, you know?
But why weren't we seeing this stuff 5 years ago?
You were seeing this stuff 5 years ago.
I'd say more, what about 10, 15, like the 2000, like all through then, it was...
You were definitely still seeing this stuff.
Eminem
doing the devil sign on his forehead in 2005.
But he couldn't have just thought it looked cool?
Oh,
could it have
that's
just
right.
come?
They all think it looks cool, but they're all stealing each other's swag, so none of them are actually cool. Like how they should each, like, you want to be different, you want to stand out. How are you going to stand out if you're all acting the same? It doesn't make sense.
I think that's not a point towards there being devil worshipping in a lot of these artists. I think that's more a point towards just a general lack of creativity among big artists. But it's not a hit to them being devil worshippers.
A general lack of creativity, but Drake is the greatest artist of the generation. Is that a lack of creativity?
That's numbers.
But so many people legitimately hold that opinion regardless of numbers. So many people think like, oh, Lil Uzi Vert is the greatest
because they like his music.
If Drake was making the same music but had 5 listeners, no one would say it was the greatest of all time.
Right. So when they're doing this stuff, right, it's amplified, right? They're all doing it together. It's a group thing. All the record labels, like, it's a group thing to put this stuff out there, to push this, like, you know?
I don't see how that's inherently demonic in any way, though.
Because they're all doing demonic shit. That's the thing. I think
you're saying that they are, and maybe, through these, like...
I'm sorry, Lil Nas X making a music video and twerking on the fucking devil! Twerking on the devil, goddammit!
Is that not great marketing, though?
Oh, is that great marketing? You didn't think that was weird. You didn't think...
It's provocative, that's the point.
That's more than provocative. That is disgust. Twerking on the devil? How is that going to catch someone's attention? Like, oh,
you're
man,
talking
I love
about it
that.
right now. We all know
love that.
I don't listen to Lil Nas X, and I know the music video is twerking on the devil. It's marketing. The way I mean,
it's horrible marketing.
Genius marketing.
Okay, so any publicity is good publicity.
How long ago, and we're still talking about it.
Exactly.
Any publicity is good publicity. Understood, but it doesn't mean that it's like it doesn't make it right. You know?
No,
it's not right.
Ethics has nothing to do with any of this.
Well, no, it definitely does. It has to have something to do with it because they're doing it knowingly, and they're knowing that it's a bad, negative, demonic thing. They're knowingly doing that, and they're just doing it and partying and everything, and they're like, oh, it's great, whatever. Well, everyone else, you have little kids doing this stuff. You have little kids going around like thinking like that Satan is God and all this stuff, and they're worshiping these artists that are doing this stuff.
Because it's a trend. It's trendy too right now.
It's a trend specifically because they want it to be a trend. They want to push all this negativity.
Yeah, but in 6 months from now, it's going to be something different.
But they've been doing this for 70 years.
I don't think that's convincing enough to say that. Yeah, but I think a lot of these demon worshipping stuff might exist, but I don't think it's as mass and broad scale as.
I don't think they're trying to convert every.
Yeah, no, I don't think
civilian into.
No,
the almighty Satan.
I don't know. I think that's a deeper conversation. Do you think the devil exists, Quinn? Do you think you can sacrifice your soul to the devil and become famous?
No.
I think people just think it's cool. I think there's definitely something there, but I don't think it's as broad scale as everyone's doing it, and they're all using, the youth to corrupt them and upside down crosses.
That don't even believe in Satan or God. How are they going to?
But that doesn't. It doesn't matter if they believe in it or not. It's the concept of it, because there's everybody believes something different about something, right? So like. They have to choose something.
If they want to push us to believe and worship Satan, what about all the people that don't? And what if they just never?
Okay, but what if that's actually the real thing?
We could but if all day.
Exactly. They have to pick something, and they pick this, and it's a really bad thing to pick. Why couldn't they pick a positive thing? Why couldn't they get everybody hooked on a positive thing?
I think people are interested in.
I think most people are just inherently negative.
Yeah, and interested in negativity. It's fun to be like, I kill people and shoot guns and shot a child in a drive-by type thing. Like, people think it's cool. So I don't know. It's a trend. I think there's plenty of positive.
I think GTA is so popular.
Yeah, but there's plenty of positive artistries out there. You know what I mean? I don't know about that.
His whole thing is peace, love, and positivity. I just want to tell everybody, June 8th, I'm going to the Logic concert in Washington, D.C. All right? It's general admission. I'm going to get there 3 hours early and get front row fucking seats.
If anybody...
barricade your door.
If anybody is sacrificing children to the devil, it's got to be Logic. 100%. There's no way around it.
Really?
I think the red on yellow, there's something there. I don't know what it is exactly.
Advertising McDonald's, that unhealthy lifestyle.
I think, what happened at the...
advertising McDonald's?
You know what happened at that Travis Scott concert, the Astro World? Know how he
How did I not mention him? Yeah.
No, yeah. He did. He had a sacrifice. That was a live sacrifice.
You're proving my point.
Live sacrifice, and that's what's going to happen at your Logic concert. Is a portal's going to open up in the center, and all of you guys are going to get sucked down to hell with Logic. I know
you probably don't actually believe that happened at the Travis Scott concert, but it's crazy because the stage was an upside-down cross, and it literally, the backdrop was literally a portal into hell, but we don't have to talk about all that.
Stylistics.
Yeah. Stylistics.
But no,
it's so stylish. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is to them. It's cool because they're partying and we're
Right, but nobody. Right, you can't have a normal party with
people love Halloween
with normal lighting and because Halloween is every day for them.
There have been millions of parties with normal. There's all sorts of parties. You know what I mean? So it's
but all the Hollywood parties just seem to be like demonic and shit.
Do they? Or are you just focusing on a hyper specific group?
No, I'm sorry. It's just that the fact that I don't know. Ellen's set is literally designed after Epstein's Island, stuff like that. It just it is. Look at it. It's the blue and white. It's the palm trees. It looks like Epstein's. I don't know. It's just stuff.
Just pulled that one out of a hat, didn't you?
I did because I got tons of these. It's literally I have so many examples because it's such a prominent thing, but people brush it off. So it's like okay, whatever.
Are you a firm believer that Isaac Cappy was killed?
Yeah.
By Tom Hanks.
By Tom Hanks, I think it's possible. Tom Hanks, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Just seems like.
You think that's more likely than him being a little bit insane, schizophrenic, and going crazy and killing himself?
But didn't he also say that he wasn't suicidal?
Couldn't anyone say they're not suicidal?
Right, but didn't he also wasn't he also speaking out about really negative stuff that people were doing?
Wasn't he speaking out about QAnon, in which he was a firm believer in, and which has been shown since to be complete BS?
So many people are a firm believer in QAnon, and QAnon started off as a small truth, and then there were a bunch of people that really amplified it and made it a big thing that it wasn't.
In which Isaac Cappy was a primary supporter of that. He was crazy. He was insane. He supported a woman that came out with a story that she was sex trafficked by Tom Hanks, right, when she was 13. This woman also believes that she's married to he's a guitarist. What is his name? She believes she's married to a celebrity and that he's Jesus. These are the people that he's backing, that he's directly backing himself. I forget the guy's name. God.
Regardless of what she believes, couldn't she have been trafficked anyways?
I think she's insane. I think she's mentally ill and needs help.
That's cool and all. She can be insane, but insane people, normal people, anybody can be trafficked. So I don't think her mental state has anything to do with whether or not she was trafficked.
Is coming after a target like Tom Hanks, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. Wasn't Tom Hanks on the flight logs? Doesn't his name appear
He
there?
got me. No.
I mean, I don't know.
He got me. Okay. All right.
Was it?
Well, I actually don't know if he was on the flight logs, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit. It would not surprise me one bit.
There are a lot of people, like, when people talk about, like, child trafficking, so many people, without even knowing the Isaac Happy thing, think Tom Hanks is one of the biggest, like, people that's part of it. Like, people say a lot of different people. He is one of the ones that's brought up, like, first every time. You know?
I'm a big fan of his son. I think his son and Hunter Biden should do a little show together or something.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I'm a big Hunter Biden fan. People don't know this about me. I smoke a lot of crack. I'm a big Hunter Biden fan.
Classic.
Me and him smoke crack together. Actually, the fact that like the laptop and everything was left in Delaware, it just made it so convenient. He stopped by.
Nice,
and
good.
We smoked crack together.
Really?
Yeah.
The setup.
Yeah. After all this
Patreon podcast.
Yeah. People don't know that like. Yeah. People don't know that I'm a big Biden guy. You know. People don't understand that. I'm also surprisingly, I'm also a big Trump guy. You know.
Okay.
Like
I'm a big Kamala Harris.
No.
Kamala Harris will put you away for life for a gram, Asher.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris for the win.
No, but then she gets in office and she's like, legalize weed. But I incarcerated the most people in history on what? Weed charges. But we get into office, you know what we want to legalize? Weed.
Because they want to stay at home.
It's great. It's awesome, man. No, I'm not a Trump or Biden guy.
My favorite Hunter Biden moment has got to be when his brother died and he started an affair with his brother's widow. Yeah. Definitely got to be a top 10. And then moved into a house with her while still married to his wife.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's got to be a top 5 Biden as a family moment.
Like
but definitely a great moment for him.
It's a love story.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's great.
Modern romance.
Happy endings.
We'll write a romance movie one day.
Yeah, you guys getting romance too?
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. A man and a woman fall in love in a cabin. Cabin. They're snowed in for the winter.
Right, and there's nothing.
Best get comfortable.
But nothing bad happens, you know. Like there's no like plot twist.
Yeah, no, it's just a happy movie throughout.
Yeah.
They just play, like, board games for like an hour
and
and a half.
The whole thing is just I love you so much. I can't believe I get to spend more time with you.
Then they. As the weeks go on through the winter, they sort of started to get sick and tired of each other. And how are they gonna?
The snow never melts.
And how are they gonna like get back together? I have an idea. How about the abominable snowman comes and attacks the house, right? And they have to band together to take down the snowman.
Do you take me as some sort of joke, Colin?
Can I take you to jail? What?
Do you take me as some sort of joke,
I think he looks like a clown.
What's wrong with the abominable snowman?
Do I look like I'm gonna make? I'm sick that you even asked me about that.
I will play the abominable snowman. It doesn't have to be either one of you.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, some of them
he'd have to be animated. He'd have to look like the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer abominable snowman.
Well, if you think about it, some of the most successful movies, some of those successful movies, abominable snowman. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Monsters Inc. had the abominable snowman. You remember that?
Abominable snowman.
That was 2 pretty big movies.
Ooh,
there's like
fair enough.
I mean, you don't have because if he was in every movie, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But when he makes an appearance, he's great. He's 2 for 2.
Do you think he belongs in most movies?
No,
just as a guest appearance.
I think he belongs in like a
Transformers.
Now that wouldn't make much sense because it's not. It has nothing to do with snow.
Ice Age.
No, I could kind of see him there, but you already have the big factor with the woolly mammoths. So the
woolly mammoth is already like you already existed. Big wolf. You're already the main character.
There's already like cool. There has to be diversity. There's already a white character. There's already Sid the Sloth, and there's the one,
There's the tiger.
There's the tiger. I forget the tiger's name. Yeah, but you have to add diversity because at that point you have too many white people.
And the squirrel.
The squirrel.
Do you know the squirrel broke apart Pangea?
He did. Really?
It's in the textbooks.
Yeah. That acorn gets you. You guys know that my favorite animal growing up was a squirrel. I thought they were so cute, and then my mom was like, "They're rodents," and I was like, That's not true.
Same
Squirrels
level
aren't
as
rodents.
rats.
Like, how could they be so cute? But if you watch videos of like a squirrel fucking up another animal, like just digging into that shit, and I'm like, they're so cute. Like, they have that cute face.
Nuts.
They do have giant nuts. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Squirrels are cool.
They're
Though.
definitely an animal.
But
Well, no, I think squirrels are definitely on the same level as rats. Maybe barely a tier above, but flying squirrels, they jump up a few. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
You
that
showed me a
shit's dope.
video of a flying squirrel snatching a bird out of the air and beheading it.
It's like it's beating it at its own game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
He
It's
don't
like-
even got wings.
yeah, right. He's just
pretty cool.
exactly.
What about a swimming squirrel?
A swimming squirrel.
What about a squirrel? What if it was a fish that looked exactly like a squirrel?
It had fur and everything.
cool.
The
Mm.
first,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
first
fur.
mammal fish.
Yeah.
That's not a
Ooh.
dolphin. Because dolphins are mammals.
It can has gills and can breathe air.
Does it go out of water? Climb trees and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, if it so chooses.
Really?
It's a squirrel.
That sounds like a jack of all trades. It sounds like he
Yeah.
could make it
Yeah,
through the
fly now.
evolutionary pool.
If a squirrel was a Renaissance man,
Essentially.
Yeah.
Essentially.
we could make a movie about this.
All right, I'm thinking squirrel in the water,
Yeah.
comes out, experiences life,
What would be
maybe grows wings.
What would be the name of this movie? It would have to be like the evolution of a squirrel. Because everyone knows about human evolution, but like squirrel evolution, people don't know about this shit. We gotta teach them.
Land, sea, and air.
Do you believe in evolution?
I hope so.
I think that like literally every animal has evolved, like over time. But
What do you think we evolved?
but I mean, obviously we have evolved, but I don't know if we started off as like
Monkeys.
billions of years ago. Yeah,
In the ocean.
yeah.
They
See,
got started like that.
I have a hard time believing that because like some of those things still exist today. You know, yeah, right. I think everything's definitely
Crabs.
evolved, but
Crabs are good at evolving.
but I have a hard time believing that. But there were things that eventually evolved into things that look like us. I don't know, like
So you don't think we
just-
came from monkeys?
no. I think there are a
I
lot.
don't think there was an
no.
evolutionary point where one monkey's little spark in their brain, and then here we come, a couple million years later.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we we might not have even been around for millions of years, civilization as we know it now, because
A couple thousand.
like it might only be like 15,000 years. You know, like we really don't know. You know, because like there's a lot of evidence both ways. It seems like, you know, it seems like the non-religious community and the religious community are kind of at a standstill, and I'm somewhere in the middle of that because, I mean, I'm a big believer in like facts that can be and have been proven, but also the fact that like there is stuff that is without a doubt unexplainable that happens all the time, and there are supernatural experiences, and there's something bigger than us there's some sort of something, whether it's God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. There has to be something. You know,
don't strike yourself as a religious man.
I would say that I think Christianity holds the most truth, but I also believe that there's a strong possibility that many of us have lived multiple lives. You
That's
know?
what I would like to
I like
believe.
that, yeah.
I would
So
like to believe in
I-
reincarnation.
There's a book written on it by a guy, Michael Newton, PhD. He did past life regression therapy, and he detailed accounts with his clients in sessions. And so I think that, yeah, I think that Christianity as a religion has the most truth to it. I think that Jesus lived, and I think that it makes the most sense. I'm not saying that heaven and hell. I'm not saying that, you know, everything in there is true, but I certainly think that, like,
You think like biblical shit was happening?
yeah, I think
Like, you
biblical
think
shit was
Moses actually
happening.
Split that sea?
I think there's
And if
evidence.
so, why did
Yeah.
no one done it since?
Well,
Oh,
Has nobody
got
got
you there.
in contact with them since?
I don't know, but if you think about other stuff, like there's evidence for the flood happening, you know, there's evidence for, you know, stuff like that.
Jesus H. Christ was a real man.
Yeah. I mean, every religion.
Anybody can name their fucking.
Pretty much every religion except Judaism believes that Jesus lived and was like a great teacher, a prophet, something. So he was a carpenter, yeah, as well. But yeah, that was just like that was his side hustle, you know. Jesus' side hustle. He was like 12 disciples are cool. Being God's son is cool, but I want to make some tables and chairs, you know.
Side work.
Yeah, I want to I want to build some houses and shit. And so he went and he did that. And the funny thing is, he ended up dying on a wooden cross, and he was also a carpenter. So there's some continuity there in the Bible,
full circle,
which is kind of crazy.
Good storytelling right there.
Have you guys ever, even without any religion or anything, you guys don't have to believe it, but have you guys seen Passion of the Christ
with Mel Gibson?
Yeah, I think he directed it. Yeah.
No. But I know what it is.
It's a very, very gruesome and gory movie, and it's very intense. But it's a very good watch.
Anti-Semitic, isn't it?
Even if isn't
it anti-Semitic?
No, because it's telling a story that happened from the Bible, supposedly. So it's not anti-Semitism would be if it was some random Jewish guy and they were just beating the fuck out of him, and But
doesn't it tell it from a perspective?
Well, Jesus was Jewish. That was
yeah. But does it? I don't know exactly. I've just heard I know Mel Gibson himself has had his fair share of controversies with the anti-Semitism.
Right, but
and I believe I've heard things that there's stuff in that movie that is questionable.
I mean, it's very there is a scene where he is literally getting whipped to death, and it's not it sounds a lot it doesn't sound as harsh as I'm making it out to be, but when you watch it, it is fucking gruesome. It is hard to watch, I don't know. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of controversy around it because for a movie mainstream like that. We were talking about a movie before that was pretty wild. This is one of the mainstream movies that was really outrageous, in terms of stuff like that.
Have you seen The Last Temptation of Christ?
I haven't, but my friend was telling me about that.
So it's a Scorsese movie.
Yeah, and apparently it's pretty fucked up. That's what I've heard. It
faced a lot of backlash by the church at the time because it tells by the Catholic Church specifically, but
everyone knows the Catholic Church is they have the right to cast judgment on everyone else.
Of course,
we rape children.
No, only
but
a few
you guys
of them,
are also wrong.
Only a few of them.
It was only a few priests
Leave the kids out
it was
of
only a few priests saying "suck my dick" and God will love you, and then everything else they're yeah, but we're gay, but Jesus can't be. Jesus can't be gay, but we can. I don't know.
Peep the game. It's called game, bro. Get with it. Get with it or get out. All right.
So if that's
no, it's
really
not game. It's terrible.
Quintin, is that your guy? Are you gonna back him on the fact
I'm not claiming this guy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. My fault.
Persuading young underage people to do sexual acts is game.
The movie it faced.
They don't know what they're doing.
Okay, my fault. It faced. I let my true colors show for a second. It faced a lot of controversy because it tells the story from if Jesus stopped on the cross, he makes a deal with God, and he's right. I don't want to go through with it, and then lives his life as a man and bangs a bunch of chicks in the movie, I believe. But yeah, and then he goes back at the end. And he's actually, I need to do it, and life goes back. But that one, I think, I don't know. Yeah. Mel Gibson, I think, is a little bit of a jokester, but yeah.
I mean, The Passion of the Christ was a series. I watched that. I went to private school my whole life. I watched that and we did we watched.
There's a Family Guy episode about it being anti-Semitic, so I'm gonna go with Peter on this one.
Well, let's switch it up for a second. Seth MacFarlane. On a Logic song.
Oh, and it was beautiful. It was the best moment of any Logic song.
I wouldn't put it on my playlist because I still gotta listen to another verse.
I might put put a shortened little like 35-second.
Doesn't he kind of sound like Sinatra though?
Yeah, but doesn't anyone in that style kind of sound like Sinatra? You know what I mean?
I guess, but Seth MacFarlane, like he kind of sounds.
Yeah,
like
but I already know.
Yeah, no. You watch Family Guy. He's been singing for decades now.
He sings as Frank Sinatra Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's never like been on a song like that though. You know, like
this is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, it's kind of different. You know, him sing like in a TV show.
As fuck.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Really
it's
random.
a cool little collaboration. Yeah.
No.
You know,
I mean,
maybe he could have done it with a little someone more worthwhile.
Logic has a song called Orville, named after the Orville, the TV show Seth MacFarlane has about these guys in outer space.
I've never even heard of this.
You've never heard of this?
No.
I haven't watched it, but it's good.
Recent?
Quintin, you know about this?
No.
Oh, you don't?
Is this recent?
Recent. It's called The Orville.
Animated?
No, it's not animated.
Never heard of it. No.
No.
I don't like any of Seth MacFarlane's other works. I don't like Ted. I don't like American Dad.
You don't like Ted?
Ted 1's funny. Ted 2 kind of gets played out.
You don't like Ted? All right.
Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg in comedic roles, I'm not a huge fan of, and that's for
a stupid face and a stupid eyebrow.
No, he's a good actor.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Come on.
I hate his eyebrows more than anything. It makes his face look so funny.
You like Mark
This is
Wahlberg?
actually funny.
You don't think Mark Wahlberg's terrible?
I don't think he's terrible. This is funny because literally the first episode we did, we were talking about how Mark Wahlberg is like a fucked up guy.
Nearly killed either an Asian guy or a Hispanic guy.
We were talking about how he's a fucking racist, and I was like, I don't know. I don't think he is.
Interesting. So the one person that we brought up who has real allegations against him, he's cool. But Drake and then Playboy Cardi wearing an upside down cross, he's corrupted the youth.
Here's the thing. Mark Wahlberg is also like involved in all that other shit with them. So I'm not like backing him. I'm backing him as like I think he's a good actor and most of the stuff like he does. Like a lot of his like comedy stuff I think is funny personally. I don't think that he's like being carried in the movie.
Yeah.
Like when he does like the other guys with Will Ferrell, like you didn't like that movie?
No, I hated it.
I thought it was pretty I thought that was an instance where Will Ferrell kind of carried.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
I know you guys don't like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
We did, yeah. So we don't have to get too far into it, but
the other guys.
Yeah, no, I mean I like the other guys. I thought it was pretty good, but
that's the one where they're cops, right?
Yeah, they're cops. Yeah.
Didn't care for it.
No. I mean,
no.
Yeah. Not your cup of tea. That's fine.
Do you want to know a cop movie I do like? The one with Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Central Intelligence.
Central Intelligence. Ooh.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Training Day is a good movie.
That's just an actor.
Get Hard.
Get Hard. Isn't that also with?
That's Will Ferrell. He's training him to go to prison because Will Ferrell's like this billionaire guy.
Yeah, I never saw this one. No.
Get Hard.
I know what it is. Who's training? Is The Rock training?
No, Kevin Hart's training Will Ferrell for prison, and it's. I think you would actually like it. It's pretty funny.
But Kevin Hart's never actually been to prison. Or had he actually been to prison? Because
the twist is that.
Is it that? No, that starts in the beginning, I believe, right?
Yeah. So the premise of the movie is Kevin Hart works in the garage as like a guy who washes cars.
Classic.
At Will Ferrell's like big business, and Will Ferrell has gotten charges against him and is supposedly supposed to go to prison. And so,
Kevin Hart recently been.
Yeah. He actually he had not been to prison, but Will Ferrell racially profiled him and said, "Oh, black guy who's working this low-level job
Classic
in a parking garage," and he's like when he washes his car or something, or it's the valet or something, he's like, "Hey, can you teach me how to like get ready for prison and shit?" And it's actually like it's kind of funny. It doesn't focus on the race aspect like a lot of Kevin Hart's stuff.
Does Will Ferrell have a lot of cornrows for the whole movie like he does on the poster?
No.
That's genius. They should have gave him cornrows for the whole movie.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Funny story. Before I had the long hair,
cornrows,
I was this close. The week I was about to go on a cruise in 2019, I almost got cornrows. I was like, I really want cornrows.
What was going through your mind?
So I thought it looked so cool. I was like, I'm gonna have cornrows and this is gonna be fucking amazing.
If I were to
And my
walk
hair
into
was-
Texas Roadhouse and you had fucking cornrows, Colin, we would not be.
My
sitting
hair
in
was
this
just a
chair.
little too short to get cornrows, and so I didn't get it. I went on the cruise. I just had like normal hair, like it was shaved on the sides, probably like a 1 or a 2, and then I just like combed to the side or whatever, like a lot of like soccer players you would see, or so, like like Ronaldo or Messi or whoever.
Yeah, I used to be a big
and
big soccer guy.
Then I decided to grow my hair out, and so I gradually, like, I would cut the top, let the sides grow, cut the top, let the sides grow, and then it just came into this, and that's what I decided I wanted. Like a year after cornrows.
Do you ever think of changing it?
No,
Go to cornrows.
I could, and then I would take them out. But
You ever like
I always
wear
have.
your hair in a ponytail?
I was actually wearing it in a ponytail today.
Really? At work?
At work, yeah. I've been thinking about busting that out. I always wear the bun. I've been thinking about busting out the ponytail.
Bust out like the
Yeah.
You should go different like each shift.
I should wear a do-rag or a bonnet.
Ooh. Two
do-rag,
very
it
different.
Might be a little,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
might
no
get-
more cultural appropriating than the cornrows was, right?
No, I mean, yeah, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
white people don't get cornrows.
Go with the Skrillex.
Oh, you could rock the Skrillex. You got
Skrillex.
literally when I saw you turn
It's
your
not
head
my
to the
vibe,
side,
no,
it was
it's-
perfect.
It's not my vibe. No.
Really?
I'm not quite.
It's
in
the
that-
vibe you're giving off,
I'm not in
Colin.
that community.
Yeah, but you don't have to have the
No. I don't. No, I like the long hair. I like being classified as the complete and utter stoner that has never done drugs ever before.
Would you ever smoke weed?
I also like being. Would I ever smoke weed? I don't know. I feel like we touched on this before.
I don't
in
in our personal life,
yeah.
we definitely have. Never on the cast.
Yeah, I don't think I would, because I think that my life is kind of like a constant state of like bliss and being, I don't know, not that I'm happy all the time, but the fact that like I'm kind of comfortable with being uncomfortable and being stressed out. No, and I also think that like people smoke weed because they want to get a certain experience out of it, and I've never really wanted that. I'm fine the way my life is. I like my life. People do it because it helps my stress. I've gotten to a point where I'm really good at handling stress. There was a certain point in my life where I wasn't, and I wanted to be good at handling stress, and so I decided that that's something I would work on, and now I'm good at it. So if you put yourself in uncomfortable positions, like voluntarily, like working out, like I don't want to do this, but I'm going to anyway, I'll do one more rep, I'll do one more this, one more that. Or just other stuff like talking to strangers, social anxiety, stuff like that. You put yourself in uncomfortable positions every day. Like I take a cold shower every morning. It's like a 5-minute cold shower.
Psychopath.
It sucks. Yeah. Fucking dick. It sucks and I hate it. But it puts me in an uncomfortable position that I know I don't want to be in, but it sets the tone for my day that, hey, I can do this. If I'm stressed out, I can do this.
You know? Room before after you get out.
I actually do, but
because I have this. Yeah. I also have heaters in my room. When I get out of the shower.
I love the heater in my room, but yeah, I put myself in an uncomfortable position every day, and that way, and cold showers also have health benefits too.
That is true.
Right.
Definitely probably getting out of the shower ready to take on.
Yeah.
Go do whatever the fuck you
right.
do that day.
But yeah, it's also a mental thing too. You know, I wanted to be able to handle stress. I wanted to be mentally tough, and
depend on something else.
Right. I want to depend, and I know weed's natural, but I want to depend on something natural. I want to depend on my own mind to be able to handle stress or whatever, handle my day to day. And I've never wanted to experience drugs, and I've had like Christopher. I had him on, and he was like seriously, like chronically, like addicted to weed and shit, and it fucked with him for a very long time. And he's like almost
addiction is real. People say it's not addictive, but it really is.
Right, and it is, and it can fuck you up, right? And like if you don't know how to handle that stuff, like I get it. It works for some people. It's good for some people, but for other people who have addictive personalities, it can get really bad really quick, and it is a gateway drug. I know somebody that smokes weed all the time and is now doing other shit. And I'm like, no, like I don't have a personality like that, but I've also never wanted to put myself in a position to even be that way, because everybody's that way about something, and I don't want that to be my thing, you know? I don't want drugs to be that thing. But yeah, so would I ever smoke weed? Probably not, you know?
Not.
But I'm not opposed to it, you know? I'm not. Things change.
About it.
I'm definitely not closed-minded about it. I definitely don't say you smoke weed, you're this. I don't think that you're like less smart.
Like the PSA ads from the early 2000s, the 90s, where you would smoke it once and it's melt.
I guess.
You never seen that?
No, I never seen. No.
Chick hits the joint on the couch, and her mom comes in, and she's literally just like a puddle on the couch. It's an anti-weed commercial.
Yeah, no, yeah. However, I did see this Rick and Morty bong, and I'm a big Rick and Morty fan. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That was the closest he's ever got.
I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh.
How do you feel about other psychedelic drugs, specifically psychedelics?
I think they're really cool, and I think they've helped a lot of people with a lot of things. But I also think that I'm very connected with the world around me, spiritually and like metaphysically and stuff. And so I don't think I really need those at this point. But I think like it's helpful for a lot of people, and it's helped a lot of people become more compassionate and kind. And also with PTSD, it's helped a lot of people cure their PTSD. There have been studies done with people that have PTSD from war coming back home, microdosing on psychedelics, of course with a therapist, with a trained doctor or something, and curing that and fixing that. And I think it can be really helpful in those ways. And as a recreational drug, it's probably pretty cool, but like on the negative side, it can also fuck you up, because what if you have a bad trip and you see something and it really fucks with your head, you know? So yeah, I'm not that I'm scared of that, but I just never really wanted to do any of that stuff.
I'm worried about missing out on experiences in my life.
Yeah.
Therefore, I feel like I want to try all these things, because it's an easy experience that's memorable, and it's a lot easier than going out and making a real experience.
Yeah, but I'm not scared of that, because I think I'll experience everything that I want to and that I need to. You know, I don't know. There's just something about the way that I go about like my mindset every day in and out that's just like whatever's gonna happen is what's supposed to happen, and I'm gonna handle it, and I'm going to make it the best I can no matter what, and I'm gonna have fun, and at the end of the day I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'm gonna sleep well, and just that stuff, just little things, whatever, you know.
The same feeling that you would feel by training your whole life to go climb Mount Everest, and putting in all this time and money and equipment and all this training to finally reach the top. The feeling that you feel at the top of that mountain.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. There's something that's
it can't be the same.
And that and that's really cool. But
better.
What do you really? Do you really gain anything from that? Do you gain any sort of physical or mental or anything? Like, it's not a real experience. Yeah. You lose, exactly. Yeah. It's not good for your health, you know.
No, it's horrible for your health. Great for.
It's an experience. Right.
Yeah, it's an easy, cheap experience.
And a lot of people want that. But then there's people like me that would rather do it the other way and have so many different experiences of working hard and failing and then getting to the top and finally accomplishing it, because that's so much more rewarding. To me, at least. You know? Like, trying and failing and falling off a wall and hurting yourself and breaking your leg the first time you do it and having to work back, and it takes you 5 years to do it, and you finally do it, and you get to stand there and be like, I'm the fucking man. Look at me. And then there's some guy that's like, yeah, I want to shoot heroin. It's a totally different mindset, you know? Like, and I don't judge people for that. I don't look down on people for that. It's just like I would rather work for that, because I get more little experiences, and I actually experience more in the macro than just doing one thing, getting hooked on it all the time, and having it destroy my life and potentially the lives of the people I love. You know? I don't know.
That's a great mindset.
Yeah, I just. Yeah. I like to think I have a winner's mindset. I try. Yeah. I try. I really try. Is it hard some days? Yeah. Do I fucking struggle some days? Yes. But I try to make the end of each day positive. No matter what happened in the beginning, middle, or near end, I try and make it something where it's positive, you know? And I think that's really how you do it. Oh, I thought it paused for a second.
How did you get started on this? How did it start a mindset like this?
Yeah.
Doesn't form in one night. What did it start as?
I'm not really sure. Kind of just blossomed into what it is. I don't know. I mean, I like to credit Christopher because he kind of got started on all this, and I think me and him have different mindsets now that we've both kind of grown up, and I'm starting to form my own opinions and do my own things, and we don't live with each other now, and we've been away from each other for so long, and whatever. But I mean, he kind of started me on all of it, and then I just kind of like went and did so many different things in so many different places, and it turned into an amazing, just an amazing thing, you know. And I mean, I don't really like. I don't wake up and think my mindset's like different from anyone else's. I kind of just wake up and do my thing.
Do you have a single experience that you...
I'm sorry, I gotta mute this thing. I don't know why I have it on. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
Experience that you pin most to being the leading catalyst to getting to where you are today? What would that experience would you credit that to?
I want to say it's been a couple different things. I want to say Carter having a brain tumor and the fact that my brother and probably the person in my life that I'm closest with, forget all my friends. I love my friends, and the friends that I have are the people that like I trust my life with. And I've done that for a specific reason, you know? Yeah. I'm not friends with literally every person. Am I, you know, do I get along with everybody? Yes, but I don't share my life with everybody, you know? It's different, you know? So, anyways, him having a brain tumor and us kind of being like, he's the closest person to me in my life. He's like a brother, but he's also like a best friend, you know? I think my parents' divorce and that leading me into having a serious anxiety attack and kind of a weird spiritual experience. I think that was part of it. I seriously felt like something was telling me one day when I was at my mom's house after something big had happened. Something was telling me, and I don't know what it was. Call it God, call it the universe, whatever you want. Something was telling me, you have to get out of here. This place is going to eat you alive. And I got out of there, and I'm here. And I don't know if I would have started the podcast. I don't know if I would be working at Roadhouse. I don't know if I would be doing all these amazing things that I'm doing now if I didn't get out of there, if I didn't listen to whatever that was telling me, you know? I think that's something. So my parents' divorce and everything that's come with it. And I don't know. I mean, I guess everything else along the way. But those are two big things that have kind of like shaped who I am, you know? Because if my brother wasn't here, man, like that shit, like every time I bring that up, like it starts to get me emotional because I really feel like that's something, you know, like I get chills, I get like my eyes get watery because like that's something that's really shaped everything from that and my parents' divorce and like just literally everything along the way, you know. I think you guys have played a part in it. I think I say that to a lot of people, but like, you know, you guys are outside of like my circle, people that I'm closer with, you know, and we don't like hang out all the time or whatever, but because we're kind of in two different like groups or whatever of people. But I don't know. It's just kind of everything along the way, and then a couple big things. But yeah, and I think, but I don't think that's any different than anyone else. I think everyone has had a couple big things that has shaped their life, and then everything else along the way kind of does it. But I think that things either make you bitter or better by choice, and I think that I don't know. I think if you want to make the most out of something, you will. You know, and I want to make the most out of literally everything I can without driving myself insane. You know, and I think I do a fairly good job of that. You know, thank you, appreciate it. It feels like we've been going for fucking 4 hours. It's been like,
what time is it?
It's been like an hour and a half. When I went up there to mute my computer. Yeah, no, but this has been crazy. Anyways, what else? What has shaped the way you guys live? That's what I want to know. I don't like.
Is this the part where you bombard us with questions?
I guess, yeah.
I wanted to become the interviewer.
You did?
Become the interviewee. I don't know if I succeeded necessarily.
I don't know. I think it's been pretty good so far. But seriously, what has shaped like your guys' the way you guys like live now? What your mindset is, your beliefs, you know, like what has it been for you guys?
Well, my mom and dad are very different people.
Yeah.
Like complete opposite sides of the spectrum on every end. And I think over time I've just picked up a lot from both sides, and more my mom than my dad. A lot more than my mom than my dad.
This dad's talking about everything he knows.
That's probably just changed my views and put me in the middle of a lot of places.
Yeah. Do you think your beliefs, like Asher said, your beliefs kind of come from your dad, and your personality and mannerisms come from your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think probably like my humor is more my dad's side.
Yeah.
But I look more like my mom and I act more like my mom.
Yeah.
Than I do my dad.
Yeah. For you personally, have there been any big like experiences or things that happened, you know?
Not really.
Like
I mean, they're
big
divorced,
moments.
but I was also 2 when that happened, so I was
Yeah. But did it affect things down the line for you?
not really.
Except for the fact that you missed my podcast because you had to go to your mom's house and we couldn't do this.
Now, what Asher didn't tell you that day is that he forgot and had texted me, Colin's podcast was supposed to be today. Oh, shit. And then called me and said, I completely put it on you, by the way.
I'm not.
So don't let this guy feed you these false lies.
The reason we couldn't go, if you were at your dad's house, I could have picked you up. Colin's house is 5 minutes away, you know what I mean? A 30-minute drive.
I was at my mom's house today.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, but I had all afternoon. I didn't have anything going on. You know what I mean? It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't Sunday o'clock, or Sunday at 6 o'clock. I pinned it on Quintin because it's like 60-40.
Neither of you guys don't have to fight about this. Don't feel bad. It's not really a big deal. It was gonna get done either way, you know.
Runs things around here like Nazi Germany, so you know.
Well, my last name is Reich.
Exactly.
We don't.
That's why I was so nervous to miss it.
Yeah.
I saw one eye open last night.
Yeah. I'm a nice guy on the outside. Hitler
seen him off the podcast.
Hitler was an artist, and he was supposedly Hitler was an artist, and I think he was supposedly a Christian. He was a religious man, supposedly.
He did a lot of speed.
But his religion.
Yeah, there's
probably
footage of him at the Olympic Games, and he's tweaking out. He's like, just
I mean,
Oh,
is it that, or was he just fucking mentally ill and he couldn't control himself?
probably not that one. Probably the drugs.
Yeah.
Probably a mixture of the two. I mean,
Yeah, I think that like if you're really gonna like
Probably meth.
devise a plan to kill millions and millions of people, like that was I don't remember. It was a crazy amount of people. But anyways,
Oh shit.
hey, that's my great grandfather you're talking about. Keep his name out your mouth. I'm just kidding.
direct bloodline right here.
I'm just kidding.
Send someone for you.
They don't even have the same last name.
Who are you gonna send? Yeah. All right. see. Yeah.
You know the scene
See
in
this.
The Godfather when he wakes up with the horse head in the bed?
Yeah. That's gonna be. I'm gonna have a horse head in my bed.
And then you're gonna have 3 bullet holes in your chest.
Mm.
Yep. Before you can even process the horse head's there.
Thanks for telling me. Now I know your plan.
Or maybe that's a plan.
But don't I have like an entire nation army and like all this defense and stuff because I'm literally part of Nazi Germany? So So-
Podcast in the world.
the-
Not to mention that, some loyal fans.
we are part of.
Be careful with our next
Secretly,
words.
we don't have what is it, 50 subscribers. We secretly run some secret dark web underground stuff, and this
Saying
is
the collective consciousness of the
Yes.
collective neo-Nazis.
This is spewing everything that we've talked about today. I've been speaking code the entire time, and I am
To the first
communicating. I'm
syllable of every
communicating
word
with people in the intelligence community, and other crazy things, and they know exactly what I'm saying right now. However, you guys do not, and you should be on the lookout because any threat
I've
to
been
me.
watching the windows, Colin.
Any-
You should be on the lookout for me, Colin.
It's not the windows you should be watching. It's the windows you can't see. Mm-hmm.
Dual mirror action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Don't look. You can't
The
see.
hell
Yeah.
in the ceiling.
Yeah, what's really going on? up
Don't
there?
ask about that. It's personal.
Children. It's a children-sized hole, I must add.
Right.
It's perfect size for a child or Colin.
Oh, Colin, it's a Colin.
Yeah. No. It's. Well. Yeah. No. That's not something I could talk about on here.
We won't ask. We'll wait till the cameras go.
Actually, I have no clue what's up there.
It's just like a
It's
piece of
supposed
drywall.
it's supposed to be like an attic or a crawl space or something, but I've never actually been able to like go up there and like see what's
It
up there.
looks like someone just put the frame around
And
part of the ceiling.
I'm thinking there might be like skeletons up there or something.
What if there's a nuclear reactor?
That's the closest I've come to having skeletons in my closet.
Supposedly.
Other than the fact that I'm a closeted Nazi. So, well, yeah. I mean, yes. You're saying that like it's a bad thing. We can't.
But you're the one that's positive, so why don't you want the world to know?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I don't know if it's the best thing for our public image to be supporting Nazism here. We're not supporting it. We're not supporting it. We're loosely implying a couple different things. We're totally joking. There's no way I should get a strike for this though. We've said worse things. Worse things have been said.
On this podcast.
Probably. I don't know. During this,
Really?
Claiming that your entire franchise and
I mean,
Neo-Nazis?
this is fake. When we're talking about like real stuff, when we're talking about like real like stuff that's been done, I don't know. Yeah. When we're just joking and it's clearly like satire that we're doing here, it's different than like we're actually having a serious discussion about how like kids are being like raped. That that's a little different. You know? It's just a little.
I
Yeah.
think, remember earlier you were talking about a podcast the other day on
A theme, yeah.
I think we should do a real dedicated 9/11 podcast.
I'm down.
Sit down,
We gotta get like the sideshows on this.
Yes.
yeah, I'll come in with some actual evidence to present. You'll come in with some actual evidence to present.
The thing is, we're not really on opposite sides with it.
I'm on the side of the truth, and I think
That's what I am. Yeah.
we're willing to accept falsehoods.
Really.
I think that
I'm also on the side of the truth, and I remember we've talked about this before, and we pretty much agree on like all the base facts. But there are little things that I went further with that you were like, I'm not sure if it goes that far, but there's definitely something going on. You know?
yes, potentially.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect opportunity. Quintin, would you
I'm
Yes,
down.
I would
Yeah.
make. I'd make like a poster board and shit, like a school presentation.
Yes. No. We're gonna lay out all our papers on the table. We're going to.
Have like a shitty
Yes.
animation.
reenact 9/11 with Legos?
We can.
We'll try to see if
we will.
The match
Yes.
the size of the holes.
Yes, we will have visual presentations and stuff.
We'll see if jet fuel can melt steel beams live.
Yes, live. We will be doing this safely. We will have the windows open. We will have the fire department on hand. But we will be attempting to melt steel beams with jet fuel.
What, like 2 inches or 2 feet thick?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, without collapsing the table, you know.
We'll reinforce it.
Yeah, we're gonna have we'll have the fire department on hand. We'll have fire extinguisher and water and everything.
We just need to fit a jet into this room.
Yeah,
Which might be.
it might. Yeah, that might be
a bit of a challenge.
It might be hard.
Maybe it could park its like a fucking engine right in that window, and the steel beam can hang off the ledge.
Yeah.
And it will just blast it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I'll spend all the money I make on the thumbnail for it, and yeah. Right. Yeah. We can get Mr. Beast on, and we can have Mr. Beast be like a 9/11 like expert. Yeah. Jimmy. Yeah. We'll have him on. We'll have Jimmy on, and we'll do a 9/11 analysis with Mr. Beast.
Jim.
With Jim. Yeah.
Jim Beast.
Jim Beast, 9/11 expert. He is a PhD in jet fuel, and yeah. He worked at the Pentagon for all of 0 days.
How do you feel about hosting a live boxing match on the podcast?
I'm down.
Between me and Quintin.
Between you and Quintin, I'm down to host a live boxing match. I talked about doing a Beyblade tournament, having a bunch of guys doing a Beyblade tournament. We talked about that with Austin and Rich. Because Beyblades are fucking dope. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, but they spin
Yeah.
fast.
like that's cool. I'll do a boxing match. We can do that.
What
I think that's
Like
more
break
that's
some of the-
if
Kinda like rip
you're
one off and
if you're
stuff.
willing to pay for a new bed for my
The
dad.
views will fucking pay for it itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be a worthwhile investment.
I'm thinking that we just rip this entire kind of roof section out and we have like a half outdoor thing. Kind of like those like the football stadiums with the retractable roofs. We put one of those in and it's like a really cool high tech.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited
I
to
don't-
pay for all this content.
Yeah, I'm glad it's coming out of your pocket, not mine.
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse really been paying good.
It's that server money, man.
Better than me.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think we'll do, we won't do that on the podcast. We'll do that on the vlog channel.
Alright.
Yeah.
Colin's making
Yeah.
big moves, by the way. Y'all better be watching the vlog channel.
My whole life is a move. It's a big move. It's a
A big
Or-
revelation.
it's big. Yes, it is. It's a playlist of moves. Yeah. No, we'll do that. We'll do a bunch of different things. Because I was always hesitant to do that because it's not like a podcast, so I don't want to put it on the podcast channel. So we'll just put it on the vlog channel. So like we'll do that. Yeah, we'll put it on Truth Social. Trump will love that.
Hey, if he can see it, he can even see it. He's not behind
Yeah.
bars,
Well,
but,
I'm
yeah.
sure he'll have a live feed. That just like all the new posts. Just
Right. He'll have a live feed of my podcast because we all know how Trump is just this horrible guy and
the
yeah.
number 30, probably the number 30 biggest fan of ours, next to what, Jimmy,
Yeah.
Mr. Beast.
Jim
Yeah.
Beast and
Yeah. And
Saddam Hussein.
so yes. Well, so,
Loves.
yeah. Yeah. All those YouTubers. They yeah.
Lion Maker.
Who?
You don't know Lion Maker?
No.
He's a Minecraft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Aren't they all?
I'm not.
Also had a
He's not a.
escape
No.
mission where he almost shed, and all of his videos
Like a lizard?
He had piles of dandruff.
Well,
I need to take a shower before I press record.
I don't think he's a fan of the show. No, I
probably
don't.
He sees eye to eye on you with every single I'll be honest.
All right, so everything that I said this podcast, I now believe the exact opposite.
He's not suicidal.
Retract everything I said. I'm not. No, I am not suicidal. No.
You heard it.
They don't. I've said this on the podcast before. They don't want to kill me because I don't have a big enough following. Once I do, and people in black suits and ties come and knock on my door and say, "Hey, join us," or there's going to be big consequences. At that point, I will say I have a big enough following. I have my money.
Did you make the video where you're arrested?
And I will either shut the show down or I will change it to where we're not talking about those things, or we're doing it in a way that does not put me or the people I love in jeopardy. It'll be a decision that is based on more. I've not thought long and hard about this. I've never said this on the podcast, but a lot of people will take the easy way out. I will do what's best for me and my family morally and not do something that goes against who I am, you know?
I'm willing to die for the podcast.
I'm willing to...
More specifically, if I get killed by the government in some sort of mass conspiracy cover-up, although it would be unfortunate and it would be tragic and I wouldn't get to see my kids grow up.
Right.
And I wouldn't get to live my life the way that I envisioned me living and growing old, I think it would still definitely be a success. For sure, 100%. And as the government, whatever government man came up behind me and put a bullet through my head, as it entered my skull, there would be a smile on my face. There'd be a big old grin on my face.
Now, that sounds exactly like my other idea, which is I say, fuck you, slam the door in their face, and I continue to do what I love. And if they get me, if they get one of my family members, it is what it is, and I'm gonna keep being myself because that's what is most important.
So everybody's got to make sacrifices, bro. Everybody's got to contribute something. Would that? Yeah, I mean, then at that point, I know that I got to them, and I know that I'm in their head, and I know that they don't like what I'm doing. Truth too.
That's how you know you made it, is when they start killing your family members or coming after you and warning you. So they would kind of be like, oh, so now I'm in your head? All right, keep going. Because I'm not doing something that's wrong. I can't control the other aspects of it. I can keep people as safe as I can. I will put all my money and assets into security and stuff. Actually, that changes my mind. I won't shut everything down. I will take my assets. I will take my wealth. I will make sure that my family and I are safe, and I will continue to broadcast this, kind of like Edward Snowden.
Well, it didn't work out with his family. He's not with his family or anything.
Well, no, but
Russia,
so, yeah, he is. Yes.
I'm an Edward Snowden supporter.
I am I'm a Snowden guy. I like Snowden. Yeah.
Snowden.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's pretty cool. If I was smart enough to get all them information,
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, he didn't hack. He had access to the information, and then he was like, "Oh, this is wrong. I should probably let people know. It might ruin my life, but it ruined his life. But now, I mean, now he's living fine. He's been he's been there for 10 years in Russia, and he lives a fine life, you know. And they're not. There's no one coming to get him, you know."
Did he gave whatever he gave to WikiLeaks, right?
He gave it to some news outlet. I don't think it was WikiLeaks. But
You know what they did to the WikiLeaks guy?
I've probably heard it. I've heard so many things about so many things.
He was in an embassy in France or something, so that they couldn't touch him. He was living there in this building, and eventually, somehow they managed to arrest him, and he was brought back to the United States, and now he's probably being tortured on an island somewhere.
Oh, it was Julian Assange, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's horrible when he decides that something's not right. I know about it, and I kind of have a responsibility to share this with people, I feel like. And then they're like, yeah, well, not exactly. So we're just going to make your life a living hell.
Do you personally ever worry that you're pushing out the wrong information?
No.
He knows he's right.
I'm being... It's not like a cocky thing like I know I'm right. It's a thing like...
It's a well-informed thing.
I'm being authentic. I know that when I'm talking about this stuff, I'm saying what I truly believe, and I'm not saying something that is so outrageous, that is like so offensive. You know, I'm not on here talking about like any, like controversial stuff, sure, but nothing that like people could really get on me about, like, oh, he said something about black people. He's really saying like this horrible, racist, sexist, homophobic, really bad, like, you know, I'm being authentic, and that's all I can do, you know? And I do some level of like research and listening and reading on this stuff, so I'm not just like spouting off like randomly, like yelling and screaming. Like, I can sit down and have like an intelligent like conversation where we're both like, you're just being authentic, you know? And like, that's, you know, that's all, like, yeah. So I don't really think too much about like all that other shit, you know? Because when you think too much about the other shit, that's when like you become not authentic, you know? So I don't think about the other shit. I just think about like, what do I want to talk about? What do my guests want to talk about? What do we love doing? And that's what we do, you know? That's why I have fun, you know? I hope you guys have fun too.
Of course. Of course.
And Asher, I didn't ask you this. We touched on it with Quintin. Like your life and your perspective, like how has that been shaped?
Largely by, I know it's a corny response, but the pandemic was huge, probably. It's
Yeah.
I don't know if I am meta enough, if that's the right word, to really like say what has shaped my life. I think, we had one of our friends commit suicide in high school. That was rough. And certain, we've had friends who have dealt with a lot of stuff like that I definitely think have shaped not only me, but a lot of people around me. But I don't know if I have the self-awareness to exactly point out specific moments. I like to ask people what specific moments shaped them. I mean, I don't know, nothing off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I do think pandemic played a huge part in at least bringing a lot of mental health to the forefront of, now maybe that's just getting in your own head and a lot of time alone can do that to you, but I think that was definitely a big thing that was brought to,
Is the button all the way up on the thing?
Oh no, Colin. Oh Lord, Colin. That's since I use the bathroom too.
You know, I think it's fine.
You think it's fine? We flow like water?
It's fine.
That's so annoying.
When you say no, it'll always be no. So you have to say yes. You can't say yes all the time. But when you constantly say no, then it'll always be no. So I'm going with the fact that it was working because the button was not all the way down. So it could not be totally off.
It before I went to, I know for 100% fact.
But you didn't switch it all the way off because I looked at it and it was halfway. It wasn't all the way off. So
Lord, I pray. A ruined podcast episode for Colin.
No.
Not ruined.
Because I don't know, it's only been like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This happened with Christopher too.
Really?
On an episode where he accidentally switched it off.
Nice.
And then I just had to like cut out that part of the episode.
This is what I was talking about when we canceled out on Colin and I said it's ran like Nazi Germany. I know he's coming across as kind for the podcast, but the look he's giving me is daggers. The look he's giving me is murder. I started to sweat. As a matter of fact, I started to sweat because right now I know my only defense for my life is the camera that's recording in front of me.
That's not even a defense for your life because
he'll cut it out. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
It could be This could be broadcasting a totally different thing right now.
Well, I apologize, Colin.
No, you don't have this. Fine. My belief is that it was on.
Amen. Well, I guess only time will tell.
That's a choice. Yeah, choosing to believe that. Yeah, no. What time do you guys have to leave? Fuck it, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it's already 9.
Jesus.
Time the liquor store's closed.
It just feels so early.
I'm starting to yawn a little bit. I'm getting sleepy.
This is I don't want to call you out on this because I appreciate the hospitality of you bringing us here. This couch is the least comfortable couch I think I've ever sat on my entire life.
Couch makes my
Can we switch real
agree.
quick?
Here, switch the microphones too. Yeah, you guys can. No, it is very uncomfortable because it like sinks in. It's also like a futon too. Pulls out. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I could go another 2 hours in this one. Yeah. Can't you feel the steel beams underneath your butt?
And it's uneven on my butt.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
No, but I will say since we've last been here, the setup is definitely improved. The three mics is beautiful. I see this. The audio mixer.
We got a new mixer. Yeah.
It looks expensive. It looks like something Joe Rogan would have.
Billion knobs on it.
I want to get your guys' opinion because I need to spice this place up. What kind of art should I have up here? Like art, like decorations and stuff?
Okay, you got 2 perfect walls for it.
Yeah, right.
I would, my personal opinion, go light with it, and as you go on, you'll have things to add that'll sort of be callbacks on the show. You know what I mean?
Your logo. You gotta get like the C.
Oh yeah, the logo.
I have a friend that is painting. Actually, somehow this happened. I have 2 friends that are supposedly supposed to be painting the logo for the show, but it hasn't happened yet.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna call them out, but they
call them
definitely
out.
know.
First and last name. Drop an
address. Made it this far into the episode, they definitely know who they are.
Yeah, get on it, bro.
No, I'm just kidding. But that would actually be really dope if I got the logo for the show painted.
Some fan art. Get some fan art.
Yeah, we need some fans.
Start sending some fan art to Colin. What's the PO box?
The PO box is my address, and I don't know if I want to put my address out there.
Okay, I'll put his address out there. I'll put it out.
Yeah, no, I'll put the PO box as like
600 Ridgeway Court.
Yeah.
Damn, he's gonna put me on the spot.
Order him a pizza or something.
Yeah,
Is that a rough day?
Kajillion pizzas and prostitutes.
Order me a pizza I won't eat. That's the way to my heart.
Pizza. That's his favorite kind of pizza.
Well, he's on a carnivore diet, so do you not eat cheese?
You like pizza?
No, I do eat cheese.
Meat lovers?
No, I do eat carbs, something like wheat and grains and stuff sometimes, but it's all like organic and stuff. Cause the other stuff is sprayed with like pesticides and stuff.
GMOs, bro.
Supposedly,
organic, or it's genetic.
Supposedly.
So, it's not,
supposedly.
It's not supposed.
Supposedly.
It's been proven.
Allegedly.
It's been
In theory, of course.
Yeah. When you give a citation page, then we'll talk about it. Okay.
Oh yeah. No, I can do that for you guys.
All right.
I can totally send you.
Well, that's the next time we'll have our 9/11.
I will send you an article that you will never read, because no. Being totally honest, this is not even a diss. I know if I send you an article, you're probably gonna look at it and be like, "All right, I believe him," but I'm not gonna read it because I just don't feel like. What
would the article be about? GMOs being sprayed on plants?
Well, no. The plants are genetically modified. The pesticides are sprayed on.
Would this be what the article's about?
Yeah.
And there's not a chance in a million years I'd read an article about it.
See,
but you send me something about, I don't know, a president, having ties
World's
to
largest balls in the president.
Right.
Thank you.
Ranking
took the words right out of my mouth.
So I don't think I could convince you. So I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna say what I know.
Fair enough.
Let you
be true.
What he knows.
I'm not gonna try and like convince anyone. I'm just gonna just gonna say what I know.
I love that.
And if you have something to combat it with, I'll be like, I have something to combat that with. But I'm not gonna convince someone that like doesn't fully want to be convinced. It's like
Yeah.
Not that you don't like.
No, I'm ready to be convinced.
You're ready
I want to be convinced,
but
anything.
you're not ready to do all your side of the work to be convinced.
Not yet.
Which is
Let me
cool.
graduate high school first. Then once I graduate high school, then I'll start getting into world banking and big tobacco and big pharma.
Big tobacco. I didn't know there was a.
Oh yeah.
Big tobacco. That's like a. I know there's big pharma, big tech. There's big tobacco.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not going to get into my pro big tobacco stances right now. I think we can save that one for the next podcast.
There's a tobacco industry that's secretly running the world.
I never said that. It's just big tobacco. It's the guys that make cigarettes, the guys that make vapes. You don't think they're horrible?
Oh well, I think that's like connected to like I don't know, just the whole like thing, whole health thing. Like
they want to keep us weak.
They want to keep us weak,
and they want to keep us feminine.
Suppress our medicine.
They want to keep us feminine, which is exactly why they have John Cena and LeBron James dressing up in women's clothes and Harry Styles wearing a dress. These guys are wearing dresses. Why?
Because John Cena's
it's
like
a fashion.
6'3",
it's a fashion statement, guys. But the most masculine men are wearing dresses. But it's a fashion statement.
No, I would say.
What if John Cena lost like a Super Bowl bet or something like fantasy?
I've seen.
Oh yeah, they all lost bets. All of them.
I've seen John Cena wearing jorts about 1 billion times. I've seen him wear a dress about once. You know what I mean?
It's a humiliation ritual. It happened to Kid Cudi too.
No, it did not.
It did.
It is not a humiliation ritual.
That's bogus.
That is. Oh my god.
Not gonna try and Not gonna try and convince you. No, I'm not gonna try.
So you sent me an article about that. Because what is the ritual? What are they gaining out of this ritual?
They're humiliating them so they can gain more success.
John Cena? Who cares if John Cena's wearing a dress?
Yeah, that's not humiliating.
He's still granted the most Make-A-Wishes of all time, and you discrediting him for that?
I mean, no, I'm not discrediting him for that. I'm not saying that like
he's less of a person because of that.
No,
because he wore a dress.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that there's an
agenda
to
matter because he wore a dress.
Make men more masculine. Why do you think all TV shows make the dad look weak? All TV shows make the dad look like this weak, like can't support his family, dumbass, like like he's stupid.
What you know about Burrow TV?
What is it?
Burrow TV?
I've never heard of this.
All right, this is what's really gonna get us killed. We talk about Burrow TV.
Let's talk about
Burrow
it
TV. No, it's just it's
like
a schizophrenic Roku channel,
and it's called the Red Pill Network.
Yeah,
it's just columns on columns and columns of conspiracy theories
of mental health issues. It's direct mental health issues. That's all that it is.
Free health, quantum humans, a lot of elite pedophilia.
Oh yeah. Well, because all that's true.
Conspiracy, a lot of COVID, lost health videos, whatever the fuck that means.
They got all the classic like people who like interviews of extraterrestrials and they've seen aliens. They have all that on there.
Like Bob Lazar.
Yes, I believe we've seen this guy. Probably. Yeah. There's a big famous video of him at some conference giving a thing. Yeah, and it's all on there. Beautiful. Yeah. But that's what they'll really get you killed for.
I have a Roku, so. But the thing is,
it's entertaining, but it's all
like I can't sit and if I sit in my room and watch this shit by myself, I get fucking scared. Like I'm a fucking pussy about that shit. Like seriously, I don't know, it fucking scares the fuck out of me, you know? But I can sit here and have a conversation with you guys, but if I watch that shit, it just gets my mind thinking about different stuff. And I'm like, no, I feel like someone's after me. But I can talk about this stuff and talk about how the government could be after me if my podcast gets big and all this different stuff. And then it's
I hope they come right
but
after you.
On the daily, I don't feel like they're coming after me. I don't feel scared of anything.
I hope to get there one day. I hope to live in constant fear and paranoia that anyone's just any minute
have to live in a cabin. You
want to live that way?
I think the decisions leading up to what leads you to live that way are some good decisions.
How about I'm making those same exact decisions, but I have a come get some attitude, like some John Cena, you can't see me shit, you know?
It's not being a coward, but you know, if there's a real threat against you, living in constant fear is not being a coward. It's the response you should have. You know what I mean? And if people are coming after you, you said it earlier, you're speaking the truth.
Living in constant fear, but not to the point where it inhibits your ability to make decisions about your safety and stuff. You know, putting yourself in dangerous situations because of it, because your judgment is poor. like still having your head on straight, because like that pressure can either make you or break you,
and it'll make me. It'll never break me.
It'll make you something.
I'm ready to get into it.
So we're going to have Asher on to talk about all this different stuff, and we're going to try and push him past this breaking point. I'm going to say the most outrageous stuff I don't believe just to get him there.
A whiteboard and a marker.
A whiteboard and a marker.
We're going to use the whiteboard I have in my room.
Give me 1 week to prepare myself. I need 1 week of sit down and learn.
Away from society.
Essentially.
People that he sees.
Yeah. Essentially, I'll sit, I'll learn.
And he's going to come on here, and we're going to absolutely flame him.
And unfortunately, I think it'll all come out as word vomit once it happens. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
And at the end, we're going to have him put his hand on the Bible and say, "I am not suicidal." And then by the end of it, he is going to have a gun to his head. The gun's going to be in his own hand. Again, YouTube. We do not support suicide. God. I did a whole.
Me and Quintin don't support suicide.
I did an entire episode on mental health, and I put hotlines in the description. Do not put a strike on this channel. It is goddamn satire. It is a joke. Okay, we're just men sitting around shooting the shit, not shooting each other. Okay, for goodness sakes. Okay, I'm wearing a Logic shirt. How could you take me seriously?
It'll get there one day. Well, I don't know. I do hope. I have a dream to have a conceal and carry license to pull it on Quintin. I will pull it on Quintin frequently.
Been threatening this.
Yeah, because Quintin.
Nothing but talk.
No, that's not true. Quintin.
Too scared to walk.
Quintin mentally tortures me on a daily basis.
Asher thinks it's a lot deeper than it is.
And I need him to know that his life is on the line at all times.
I think he's just mad I stay trolling.
But
I need him to know his life is on the line at all times.
But you guys love each other. You could never kill him.
No, I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to draw that gun. I might press the iron to the side of his head.
He's not going to be scared because he knows you're not going to kill him.
But there's a chance. It's one trigger pull away. Quintin, I'm a clumsy guy, I would say. You've seen some clumsy things. Boom. Well, it's one trigger.
You're not going to be clumsy with the person you're closest with in life.
That's not true, because I have the urge to pull a gun on Quintin. I'd say on average 3 times. If I'm hanging out with him in a day, 3 times will pass where I was like, man, in that moment I could have pulled a gun and potentially had the anger to pull the trigger.
Name one time.
It's a little different because you don't actually have the gun. You don't know what you're capable of when you have the gun. You don't know what you would actually do until you have it in your possession.
I'm assuming this is going to be a long-lasting trend over years, in which at some point, maybe just on a random Tuesday in our 50s, I'm hanging out with Quintin. We got a beer and a burger, and he said something that just irks me the wrong way, and my finger was just greasy enough from the burger that when I pulled that gun, it slipped a little too much, and I put a bullet right in between those beady
cinematic.
little eyes of his.
It sounds like a movie.
Potentially it is. You'll have to see.
It sounds like it's a work.
You'll have to see.
I don't. No.
You won't do it.
No.
We'll see.
Have you listened to Supermarket? Because you knew it was a Logic thing.
I'm not getting into this with you. I think I've listened to enough to hear that.
I'm not going to say it's good, but it was not a rap album.
But he's already not good at rap, so why
even
try to delve into
Again, not going to say he's good. It was not a rap album. But
that's fine. That doesn't change anything in my mind.
Have you listened to it or not? No.
No. But I would assume I've heard songs from it.
Probably not. Probably not because it flopped. A lot of people hated on Fantano.
The
hated
book?
It. It was the book.
I remember.
It was a soundtrack
I thought that was
to the
a stupid
book.
gimmick.
Did you get the book?
I did get the book.
I thought it was a stupid gimmick.
Did you listen to the book and listen to the album at the same time?
No.
Were you supposed to?
No.
Sure.
That's why
I've read the book
Fantano
multiple
didn't
times.
give
I
it a
thought it was
time.
very good. I thought it was a good book. I thought it was a good book.
What's it about? Logic.
I mean,
in a supermarket.
It's pretty.
I ate some Twinkies and ate some.
It's pretty
Heinz ketchup.
It's a complicated book. It's got a lot of paradox. It's got a Fight Club feel to it.
Murder?
The book does. Part of it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's It's cooler than anything Logic's doing.
And apparently, it's he's gonna make it into a movie. So,
you know, if he makes it into a movie, I'll give him an hour and a half.
That's all. If it's anything longer, though,
no, I might watch it. It's just I'll stop at an hour and a half.
But this shit show goes 2 hours, and you guys are cool. You'll rewatch this, whatever just happened between us today.
Yeah, because I'm obsessed with myself. Any chance I get to see myself on camera.
This narcissist over here.
You know how YouTube just added that zoom feature, like on phones. Well, they did, and now when I rewatch this back, I can just zoom in on myself the whole time.
It's gonna be just.
He's podcast. He's gonna mute
detached voices talking to me.
He's gonna mute. No, he's not. Yeah, he's gonna find a way to like save the file or something, and then he's gonna like he's gonna mute our audio, and he's gonna listen to himself the whole time, even if it doesn't make sense.
That's what I did in the first one.
Quintin, I can't believe this guy. You know, he might actually pull a gun on you.
Oh, I'm going to pull more than one guns on Quintin throughout our life. Yes, I will. And guess what? One day, I'm gonna let it blow.
Asher, I can't see you owning a gun.
He won't do it.
I can't see you owning a gun. Not because you're some pacifist, but just I can't see it.
I used to think that I didn't want to own a gun because it's too easy to kill yourself whenever things get rough. It's just 1 second. It would be too brainless. Since then, I think that's a small-minded way to think, and I think guns look too cool for me to think like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guns are... I mean, you get a picture with a gun, you look awesome. And that's just a fact. I don't know if you want to pull up some study on it. I know you love your studies. But I'm sure we could get a study on a guy with an AK
hating on my research
versus a guy with a knife. What's looking cooler?
No, I'd say the AK.
AK?
Yeah. No, I would. I believe that. Yeah.
We'll go shooting sometime. How about that, Colin?
We'll go shooting?
We'll go shooting.
Go to a shooting
shooting what?
Yeah.
We can't just go out shooting.
Yes,
like,
you
can't just like...
No, like you can go to a range or like a forest.
All right, I'm down.
Go hunt.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Let's do it, baby.
Yeah, I got nothing against guns. People think that I'm like... People think I'm a softie.
You look like a dirty liberal. We're far enough into the podcast for me to say that you look like a dirty liberal.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I do, but I'm not.
I know you're not. I know you're enough to know you're not.
If you listen to this whole entire podcast, you would think that I'm some right-wing QAnon conspiracy. Maybe not that far, but you would think that like
farther.
You would not farther. You would think that I'm totally on the other end. You know?
Still can't believe you defended Isaac Cappy. I think that's ridiculous.
I can't believe that you attacked Isaac Cappy.
And I'll attack him again.
I can't believe that you attacked somebody that was already attacked.
He was never attacked.
Because they killed him.
He's never been touched a day in his life, I would bet.
Really?
Right. Yep.
All right. We can bet on this.
All right. We will.
When we get to heaven, we'll ask God.
Amen.
But there is no heaven, Colin.
Well,
so there's no point.
Colin, I wanna sincerely thank you for having us back on the podcast.
I want to sincerely thank you guys for coming on.
It's always a great time.
It's always 3 hours feels like 20 minutes every time.
I know.
It's like
crazy.
Christmas because it's a bittersweet feeling where, although yes, it happened and it was a great time, now I have to leave.
We opened all the gifts.
We opened all the gifts, and you got to wait another 365.
Right.
Our breakfast.
You got to wait another 365 days, excuse me, not years. Lord.
That would be
365 years we'll be sitting on this couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Floating through space.
Well, I hope to make it a more consistent thing where we're not waiting a year to do that.
Amen. So I think it keeps it special. What is this? First time we did it was it when? And
this was like 9 months ago.
9 months. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we'll keep it.
So
special.
what? Like August.
I predict probably around winter time we'll probably be back in this couch.
And we're gonna be back sooner defending up on the vlog channel.
We gotta defend 9/11.
Yeah. Well, not defend it, but
we'll do the boxing thing.
9/11.
We're gonna melt a steel beam with jet fuel. We're gonna do a bunch of stuff.
We should try prison wine. We should make prison wine.
Yeah, to make our own alcohol one day.
We should try. Yeah. Are you against morally, like Jankum?
No. What is this?
Jacob's made from poop.
Poop and pee, put it in a bottle, and then put a balloon on the top. Put it in the sunlight all the fumes collect up into the balloon.
You blast.
Take it off. Gets you
I don't
blasted.
inhale my feces.
You're inhaling gas. It's
What did it come from?
feces.
Yeah.
You want to know where it's big?
Yeah. Where?
Africa, supposedly. But there was like a big part in 2012 where people were like,
Just making shit up.
yeah, like saying like it was a big problem amongst the youth when it was never. But I digress. Are you morally against maybe making Jankum on the pod?
I don't. No, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
All
right.
Are you morally against trying to summon a demon? Trying to summon
Ooh.
Moloch right here.
You know,
Moloch,
I would.
the owl.
I would much rather
Summon Moloch.
forget
make your own
inhaling
Jankum.
my own piss and shit. I would rather eat my own piss and shit than summon a demon.
Really?
All right.
Does that surprise you?
That does surprise me. I think you'd
It's,
be one hell of a podcaster if you were eating your own poop and pee on this already.
Yeah, I would rather eat my own feces than summon a demon.
All right.
That's just how I roll.
And catch us next episode where we summon a demon. Moloch,
Summon
the
Moloch and
owl
we,
god.
Ladies
get
and
Moloch
gentlemen,
drunk
this
on
has
Jankum.
been the Collective Consciousness Show
Woo.
with my best friends Asher and Quintin.
Oh,
Thank you for coming on, guys.
oh, it's been
This
a
has
pleasure.
been a great episode, minus the fact that Asher definitely did not mute his microphone for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that
But
might
it's
have been,
fine. Catch us next episode where best friends beat each other to a bloody pulp and possibly kill each other
and discuss
and
9/11.
discuss 9/11.
Maybe I'll have my conceal and carry license by then.
All right, thank you guys. Somewhere on the screen is another video you can watch, and subscribe feature, and a bunch of other stuff is somewhere.
You gotta put it up before this point. It will look ridiculous.
Yes.
Johnny Cakes.
Johnny Cakes 28 at on Instagram.
That's
We'll
the
put
pod.
that in the description.
Put that in the description.
All right, guys. Have a great night. I love you, and yeah, that's it. All right.
Mic drop.
We'll cut it. We'll cut it here.